This is a live feed of Ryan Day's weekly press conference, sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Is what it was. And again, by the way, going back and watching the film on Grambling, I thought those guys played really hard. I got a lot of respect for them. I think they have a good year. But we all know that it wasn't a matchup game. And so you try to do the best you can to recognize the things that we got better at, but then the other things that maybe were masked because of, the situation. So there was definitely some good. I think it was great to get guys some film, get on film, correct some things. But it's the coach's job to make sure that we're addressing the issues. And we talk about how the issues are always there regardless of your opponent. So we got to get back to work today and have a great week of practice.
How do you balance out the idea of playing fast and wanting to keep your offense moving, also with the fact that last year you had one of the lowest snaps counts on offense and did that intentionally to go to 16 games? Do you still balance that this year, and how do you handle it?
I use it as a weapon when you think it's going to give your team an advantage. There's a lot of things to take into consideration when you make those decisions, but I think you always want to have the ability to switch gears based on the situation in the game. If you feel like it gives you a schematic advantage, there's a lot of things to consider. But I think the key is having the ability to be efficient in both tempos. And there's not just two. There's other different variations of that, and that has to be a weapon because ultimately the offense dictates how fast they go. And so whether it's cadence or tempo, we have to be the one that dictates in games, and that's probably the most important thing.
Are you guys still planning on trying to lower the snap count throughout the year?
Well, I think each game we go in, I think when you look at the season, you have a philosophy, and then you go into the game and you have a philosophy. And I think what you're trying to do is figure out what gives you the best chance to win in that game, and then you have to take a step back and figure out, how does it fit into the overall plan of the season. So there's a lot to consider there.
Third row middle, Spencer Holbrook.
Well, when you look back at the tape from Saturday, did Zion having the sack, Riley doing what he did, how much thought do you put into what those guys were able to do, and does that make you think maybe that they could use a little bit more of a look at some playing time?
Yeah. Every time you're in the game is an opportunity, and a lot of guys are found during opportunities like this. And so every time you're on the field, it's an opportunity to get better, and you're either putting strength or weakness on film. So, yeah, the guys that popped are going to continue to get opportunities as long as what they're doing fits into what we're trying to get done on offense and defense, and they're grading out. Sometimes you can just, late in the game, kind of just go off on your own and try to make plays, and you can make a play, but that's not within the discipline of what we're doing. We have to consider all those things. But, yeah, the more guys grade out and the more productive the guys are and utilize the snaps, then the more they're going to play.
Second row on the aisle, Jeremy Birmingham.
I mean, sort of in that vein, what Spencer's talking about, but how do you decide in a game where it's not a talent-equated game, and how much stock do you put into a performance by Julian? The problems are always there, which is something you've been saying, but then so does that mean that the positives are always there too, or is it something where you're watching a game like that and you see 18 and 19, obviously good timing, good rhythm, all that stuff. How do you balance, hey, we did whatever we wanted against a team that probably shouldn't be on the field with us, versus, hey, that's something that will translate down the road?
I think you try to do it based on your experience of seeing things. Take the passing game, for example. I mean, the spacing, the timing, location of the ball, like all those things you're looking at to see, does this look right? Or, are we getting away with things right here? Same thing up front. How's our footwork? How's our hand placement? How's the communication? How's the pad level? How are we getting off to the second level? Are we getting movement? All those things you try to do the best you can. And you expect a very, very high level of execution. And when you don't have that, you got to figure out why that is. And so it's the same thing. You're trying to identify, is it coaching? Is it scheme, or is it personnel? The best you can. I will say it's not always easy coming out of those games to identify those, but the more you watch it, the more you work at it, the more experience you get as a coach, you try to project the best you can on those things.
I know you don't want to coach players differently, but for a player like Bo at the end of the game, when he gets removed from the opportunity to score a second touchdown, basically because he put the ball on the dirt, does the coaching point change? Does the way you guys coach it adjust based on what you need or expect from that player throughout the rest of the season? Does that make sense?
Well, Guys are going to make mistakes. The question is they learn from it. So whether it's a turnover, whether it's a missed tackle, whether it's a missed assignment, guys need to play through that, and we try to flush as many of those things as we can out in practice. That's our job. When it happens in a game, there's a reason it happened in the game. Whether we're not practicing right, we're not coaching it right, we don't have the right guy in the game, there's a reason why. Now, it's the coach's job to make sure we prepare the players, but it's the player's job to make sure that we're in that moment when a mistake is made, they learn from it. When we start to have multiple mistakes that haven't been fixed, now we really have an issue. So that's why sometimes when you have inexperienced players that haven't done it before, you hold your breath a little bit because you don't know what exactly you're going to get. Now, all that being said, that's why we practice. That's why we train to make sure that we're ready in those moments.
Dylan Davis.
The punt return situation, I know that last week you said that Jeremiah would continue to do some things. We didn't see him last week, obviously, the game situation. Are you comfortable with what you're seeing from Brandon back there, and just comfortable with the weapon that it is or isn't right now in general?
Yeah, that's an area coming out of the game that we've got to improve on, for sure. I think we lost 47 hidden yards with the ball bouncing around on the ground. Now, a couple of them were very difficult because they weren't very well hit. But other ones I feel like we could have fielded. So it's not just one thing. Brandon's still going to return punts for us, but we also have, Jeremiah that we can put back there, Carnell, Caleb, if we need to. But we're going to stick to it, but we got to get better. There's no question. That's something coming out of the game. That was a red flag that we got to get fixed.
Right here to the right, down to Barry.
As you looked at the film of Julian, what jumped out? Anything surprised you? How pleased were you with what you saw?
I thought he had a good rhythm again. He started fast, which was another good sign. I think he was accurate. The ball came out on time. We pushed the ball down the field a little bit, and he was accurate with those throws down the field. Those were the things probably that jumped out. Again, a lot of things, there were guys open, and so that was good. He did his job. But, I think, you're seeing, how quick the ball comes out. He is seeing the field well. And, it was good to see him push the ball down the field as well because he does have a strong arm. And when we can stretch the field vertically, horizontally, and then run the ball, that's when we're at our best.
Fourth row middle, Patrick Murphy.
Ryan, you talked last week about Coach Hart lining up in the box, and that before the season you also mentioned to us wanting to sort of stay off of Julian and let Billy talk to him. Just how through the first two games do you feel like you've managed it this year without Chip, Ryan doing it for the first time? How's it been for you on that side?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think we have a lot of guys in that room who have been around together. This is the first time Tyler's kind of gone through with us. But there's a lot of familiarity with how we do things. So I think it's been good, and for Brian, he's really organizing it well now and calling it. And, Keenan has a lot of input, Tyler has a lot of input, Billy has a lot of input, Carlos has a lot of input, and then I obviously have a lot of input as well. And then try to help the best we can and organize the call sheet so that we're ready to go and we have plans in place. I think the communication so far has been clean. But again, bigger challenges ahead. We got to keep building and stay ahead of the curve. But so far, it's been solid.
We've seen Logan George yet, but he hasn't been on the availability report. Do you have anything you can update?
Yeah, we're hoping to see him play this week. So full week of practice here. He did practice last week. We held him from the game, but we're expecting to have a full week of practice and be ready to go on Saturday.
Second row middle, Doug Maurice.
Ryan, especially in the transfer portal world, having a veteran backup quarterback, I don't know if that feels like maybe more difficult to do than it used to do. Sometimes your backup's just a young guy on the way up. How much do you want to prioritize that, maybe when you can, and just having a guy like Lincoln here, how important is that for a team?
Yeah, I think Lincoln played well. He graded out a champion. You saw him run a couple the short yardage, and then he pulled it on the read. And so he's a good athlete. I think he made some good decisions. He threw the ball well. So he's an important part of the team, and we're going to need him. We're going to need both he and Julian this year, and we'll keep figuring out how that fits. But yeah, I think he had a good week of practice last week, and if he can piggyback the game that he had on Saturday with another really solid week here, I think that's good for the team. So we'll see what that means moving forward. But I know we're going to need him. He's he's a good leader. Guys respect him. He's a good athlete. He's a good player. So he's working hard at it, and he knows at some point he's going to get his chance. And when he does, he's got to continue to keep pushing and make the best of it. I got a lot of respect for Link, and I think that room is pretty tight.
Front row, Adam Jardy.
Ryan, did you consider taking a knee at the end before scoring the final touchdown against Graham?
No, we were just going to keep getting better. The snaps are the snaps, the scoreboard's a scoreboard. We're not trying to, at that point, it really, the score was irrelevant. And we're not trying to ever, show anybody up or anything like that. But these guys need these reps, and that's why, we're putting them in the game is to get better. We didn't want to throw the ball down the field late in the game. I think we tried to, be respectful there. But up and through the third quarter, we were trying to, get Lincoln some reps because it's important for us, and that's why we play the game. Once we got, Tavian in the game, was pretty controlled, a couple of things underneath, and we just ran it. But, it was good to see, like I told the guys, when you go in the game, like, it's okay to score. Like, that's why you're in the game, is to score points. You're not in here to just run the game out. And so we challenge those guys to get it on film and get better. So yeah, we're just going to keep playing and try to get those guys reps.
Second row, Stephen Means.
Kind of going back to 2020 and 2021 when we were in the midst of COVID, you guys are trying to recruit, but you're doing it from your houses, not necessarily getting a chance to get on the road. I know you guys put together good classes, but how did that impact you guys' ability to maybe evaluate some guys that maybe were a little bit lesser known out there and maybe find some diamonds in the rough that you want to have in the class when you don't have the camps and all the things that you guys do in the off season?
Well, what you try to do is you try to build as many relationships as you can with people surrounding the recruits so that you can get as much information as possible. And I think the more information you have, it certainly, makes it easier to make decisions on guys, and leads to less mistakes. So the more we can do and get out and see these guys and watch them in camp and get around them, the more we learn about them. The less time we have to now rely on coaches in the area, people who are familiar with the recruit, coaches on other teams who play against them. You got to really do your homework because that's what's most important. And it's always been important to make great decisions and evaluate, but I would say right now where we are in college football up until this point, it's the most important it's ever been, and we got to be on point with our evaluations.
Accidentally prepare you for what you're talking about now and that evaluation part being so much more important than maybe it's ever been?
Well, I think any of those things help prepare you for when you got to make great evaluations, and a big part of that is the personnel that we have here, and a big part of that is the coaches. So in the recruiting department and the personnel department, these guys are going to go through, watch the film, give their evaluations, and then as coaches, we go on the road and, we see and get a feel for it, like live and in color. Get around the coaches, get around the teammates, get around their teachers, get around everybody to find out what type of people they are. Do they kind of fit our culture? And then hopefully get a live evaluation. Like, next week, we'll be going on the road and getting a chance to see these guys. And so, trying to make sure that matches up with the evaluations we have here with recruiting. And then it's good to have discussions and conflict and argue about things. I mean, if everyone's just saying the same thing, usually it's not good. So I think trust is important and chemistry is important to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Right next door, Bill Landis.
Ryan, what has been your assessment of Max Clare through 2 games? What have you liked? Where have you identified as areas for growth?
I think he's playing faster and faster. You watched the film the other day. I mean, he was moving around well. Didn't get as many touches, but the tight ends did. We'll keep building the package for him, but I think he's gotten much, faster and faster as he's come out of camp. Excited to see where the next couple games go.
I guess not to speak ill of where he was before, but there's just a lot of different athletes around him on this team. You always talk about young guys having to get used to the speed of the game. Is there anything maybe for an older guy like Max getting used to kind of having more speed around him?
I think you'd have to ask him that question, but I do think that the preseason for him was a challenge because, of the speed was one thing, but just the overall physicality of playing the tight end position where you got to block like an offensive lineman, protect like a running back, run routes like a receiver. There's just a certain level that you got to build up to when it comes to that. I think the preseason was a challenge for him, but he came out the back end and he's stronger because of it. And so, yeah, to your point, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy for you to come right in here and match the physicality of the day-to-day when maybe, you weren't used to it. So he's becoming a better player, and I think he's going to have a big year for us.
Front row, Bill Rabinowitz.
We're only 2 games in, obviously, but what's your kind of assessment of the coordinators? Brian, you touched on Brian a little bit, and Matt. So far, so good, but are there any things that they're still adjusting to, or has it been pretty seamless?
I think the staff chemistry, I actually mentioned this to the staff today, is very good. I think everyone's working together well. I think the energy in practice has been good. I think the messaging to the players has been good. But, where we're going moving forward is going to be a big part of how we coach and what we identify. And so, we have got to fix the issues that maybe don't show up last week. And we got to project out what is the right mix of things that we're doing well, that is our foundation, but not getting into a situation where, we're getting picked on in terms of schematics and someone's got something, that they can look at and get a step ahead of. Also having enough curveballs in there that you're ahead of that, but then not doing too many new things where you can't execute anything. And that's the balance that we have to continually find. So it's very, very difficult, in my opinion, to make an assessment after 2 games. Obviously, the first game was a big challenge, but it was the first game. There's just a lot of clunkiness to that game, and it was great to get the win. But where we're going is just totally different than where we've been these first 2 games. So, a lot of work to do. We got to keep building, but that's what's exciting about this team. I think they want it. I think they have a good edge to them. I think they're growing up every day. Not everybody as fast as we want them to, but they're getting there. And the more they play, the faster they're going to grow up. Good.
Matt Patricia's on the sideline. I think most coordinators have been, the defense coordinator's been upstairs. What went into that decision?
That was his decision. Yeah, I left it up to him. Just get off the field on 3rd down.
Joe, go ahead.
With Riley Pettichon named the defensive player of the game, rare for a true freshman.
Yeah.
What did you always make of that play that he had right in the hole?
Yeah, it's a sometimes I know the score was great, but it's sometimes hard to pick a player of the game in a game like that when maybe guys didn't get a ton of reps, but in a short sample of plays, he had a lot of production, so it spoke for itself, and we did what was right and gave it to him, even though he's a freshman. It's kind of rare, but it's the right thing to do, and we can't not give it to him because he's a freshman. He deserves it, and but I also know he knows is that the challenges that are coming are going to be a lot different than we faced this past week. But hey, you got to take those. This is what we're just talking about. When you have reps, and let's just say it's 15 reps, you go as hard as you possibly can, and then the more you play like that, the more you're going to get on the field. And so this is somebody who's getting more and more action on special teams, and he's going to get more and more action at linebacker as well.
Go over here to Dave Holtz.
Ryan, some coaches don't love these in-state games because, at least from a branding standpoint, there's a whole lot to lose, not a lot to gain, kind of South Florida, Florida over the weekend. I know Tressel played a ton of these, Urban maybe not quite as many. What's your philosophy on Ohio State hosting the in-states?
I kind of leave that up to Ross to schedule these games, and I think it's good for the state. I think it's great for the state of Ohio. I know OU has a very proud tradition, and there's a lot of Ohio players on the roster who are going to come into the shoe and want to play really hard and play really well and win the game. So I think it's good for the state. I think it's great for their school. I think it's great for our school, and when you're from the state of Ohio, having a memory of playing in the Horseshoe during your college career is significant, and we know these guys are going to be playing with their hair on fire.
Come down to the front, Joey Kaufman.
What kind of Patrick Navarro or Parker Navarro's the type of quarterback who can move a little bit and make some throws while he's on the run, and what kind of test does he pose?
Yeah, you've watched what he's done against 2 Power 5 opponents, 1 Big Ten opponent, and he's done some really good things. He's spread the ball around. He can make plays off schedule. He's got good quickness, competitive player. But ultimately, to me, he's a winner, and did that last week. So, it's a good challenge for us.
Go up here to Cameron T. Robinson.
Ryan, after the game on Saturday, you talked about that addition of tight ends offense. At what point do you remember over the last couple of years when you were looking at the roster and looking kind of foreseeing the future where you might be able to play so much 14 personnel? Or was that just a matter of you got Max out the portal, you got Will out the portal, and it just kind of evolved?
This started a couple years ago when you just stay in 11, there are ways that, teams schematically can defend you. If you're just exclusively one thing after a while, this is what I try to tell the coaches all the time, they're going to get you eventually. And we've been 11 around here for a long time. So the ability to jump into 12 and 13 personnel gives us something different. It's a change up. And when in my opinion, when a defensive player goes from 11 to 12 to 13, back to 11 to tempo to empty, and all these different things come into play, it's harder for them to nail down exactly what you're doing. If you're always in 11, you're always in one tempo, it's a lot easier for them to kind of zero in on what you're doing. So we want to put as much stress, we've always felt that way, and as the game has evolved year in and year out, we try to stay a step ahead. And a couple years ago, we realized that the tight end position and having wide receivers that can block were critical. So to me, if you're just doing one thing, no good. You have to be able to be a tight end that can run routes or a receiver that can block. If you're just a receiver that can run routes or you're just a tight end that can block, you don't bring a lot to the table in terms of value. I'm not saying you can't play, but teams can start to narrow in on what you can do, and then they start to really dive into, what they're going to get when you're in the game. So the more versatility guys have, the better.
That conversation you and Tony and maybe Keenan had about in the recruiting aspect of trying to build this room up, or was it just developing guys and keep guys?
A little bit of both. We knew that we wanted to, again, have these guys that had versatility, and then what you do is you take a look at what you have on the team that year, and you build it around those guys. So I think we've always wanted to utilize our tight ends, and we've had some really good tight ends that have come, but now that we probably are deeper there than we've been in the past.
We'll go right in front to Rob Oliver.
Yeah, Ryan, you open with Texas, then 2 non-matchup games, then your idol. That seems like a really good setup to allow you to reset.
As long as you win the first game.
Right. How much do you map up going into the season? How much do you map up or segment out the season with like pieces?
Yeah.
And without looking too far ahead.
No, that's exactly what it is. I mean, as you could imagine, like the entire focus of August was to beat Texas. Because you look at the bye, you look at kind of the way it shakes out, like that was the focus. And then, all right, where are we going from here? What are we going to build from here? And there was install that we had during August that we were projecting out and planning and prepping and those types of things. But ultimately, like that was always right there every day. There was a part of practice that we were focused there. And so once you get done with that game, you have to recognize, okay, what's coming next, and then this is really what our focus is. When we take a step back, you're able to recognize some trends in the year where you may see a little bit of a focus here, focus there, and we talk about that in the preseason. Not as much, obviously, now. Right now, it's all on Ohio U. It's our preparation for these guys and playing well. And really trying to master our process, our practice, because this is still really only our second full game week. The first week is kind of funky because you're coming off of camp and everything. I mean, we had a week to get ready last week. We have a week to get ready this week. And each day, our Monday is significant. Our Tuesday is a bloody Tuesday. Like, this is a big day. Then we have our Wednesday, and everything is very segmented. And so having the discipline to master each one of those days as we play on Saturdays, like kind of where we are right now. And so we gotta focus in on winning this game, and then we'll kind of figure out what's coming next. But yeah, as you can imagine, we do look at those things in kind of windows.
All right, we got time for 2 more. We'll go first to Steve Hellwagner.
Yeah, Coach. I think Jeremy Birmingham asked you a question a week or two ago about recruiting and just in this new landscape, the difficulty, I guess, in getting the commitment, holding on to the commitment, and at the same time seeing guys go to other schools or whatever. And I don't know if you're continuing to recruit guys. Just your thought about where this is headed and the job, I guess, that you and your staff have tried to do with this year's class.
Yeah. Well, it really comes down to, once you get to December, that's what's going to matter. You've seen. And now more than ever, where you see guys, commit someplace, go somewhere else, and things change. So, we feel like we have some really good guys committed right now, and we're going to make a hard push here over the next couple months to finish out the class, and then figure out, what's right in the transfer portal for us. But, we feel like it's really important to make sure we have the right guys and the right fit, and our coaches are working hard towards that, and have all the confidence in the world we're going to sign a great class.
We'll wrap it up front row center.
Jeremiah Smith talked at length after the game on Saturday how bummed out he was about those drops in the first game and stuff. And
right on down the line. What does that tell you about him? I mean, his work ethic, et cetera. I mean, you rave about him all the time, but the way he bounced back, so to speak, but he needed that game, even though the opponent was what it was, right?
Well, he's very, very competitive, very proud, works his tail off every day in practice. I mean, we try to pull him back, and he fights you on it because he just wants to get better every day. It's just the mindset and makeup, and he is an unbelievable example. And I think sometimes our players, I know the wide receivers probably do, and some of the guys on offense well, look at Jeremiah. Did you ever see Jeremiah do this? Did you ever see, and after a while, I think they get tired of it, but it's because he sets the example every day. And when you have your best players who have that type of work ethic, a guy like Carnell Tate, I mean, what an example he sets for the other guys. Brandon Innes, and so your best players are the ones that are setting the tone, and that's a great sign. But when he drops a ball, it's nobody even bats an eye. I mean, certainly we're disappointed, but it's not like anybody thinks that he's not going to catch the next one. Because what we see in practice every day tells us that he's going to catch the next one. So there's never any doubt there, and we have all the confidence in the world. And that's one of the things that I try to share with the guys all the time. The harder you work in practice, and the more you do it in practice, the more confidence you have when you're on the field. If you're not doing it in practice every day, you aren't going to have confidence. Like going into a test and not being prepared. If you don't know, the material when you go into a test, yeah, you're nervous because you don't know what's going on. But if you've studied your tail off and you know exactly what's on that test, you walk in, you take it, and you walk out. It's the same way as we prepare for games. And Jeremiah is a great example of somebody that prepares really hard.
Are you a fan, by the way, of the proposed change in the transfer portal to one-time January? Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, no. I don't think it's a good idea at all. In the conversations that we had with the Big Ten coaches, I think the majority of them agree. I just don't quite understand how, for teams that are playing in the playoffs are expected to, make the decisions and sign their upcoming players while they're still getting ready to play for games. It doesn't make any sense to me. I know the calendar is funky, but I know that the Big Ten and Tony Petitti's been working hard because he doesn't believe it either, and neither do the coaches in the Big Ten. We had a lot of long discussions about that and tried to work through the different windows, but I don't agree with it being in January.
You've been listening to the Ryan Day Press Conference on the Fan.
Sponsored by The Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact The Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
Never happened in the history of over-unders on this program. The over-under on Coach Day today was 12:27:30. 12:27.5. Do you know when his last syllable hit, Coach Day? Last syllable.
It was 12:27:30.
Yes, right on.
And then there was a doubling up.
The Tim May follow-up, bust the over. Comma, semicolon, is over. But he's never ended on that exact second.
It's good stuff by you.
I think that Vegas would have. The weird part is we would have had to pay out the bets. So like if that was it,
right.
You couldn't. It'd be like a photo finish at a horse race. Like you wouldn't know. All right, good to see you, my man.
It's
Little
good
Tap
to see
Dance
you.
Tuesday.
Absolutely.
You predicted that maybe this would be a wrap up around 12:15, like in and out.
Well, I just thought, before we even got to the update at the top of the hour, before we got to our show open at the top, TLC's letting us know Coach Day is already at the mic. He's already getting busy. I think that's 2 out of 3 pressers to where he started before noon. I think that happened week 1, and it obviously happened again today. But yeah, he was rocking and rolling. People got to ask 2 questions. It seems like sometimes you can ask 2 questions, sometimes you can't. I don't really know how things work over there, but we know the great Jerry Emming has everybody in order. So yeah, man, it's just some typical stuff you hear from a coach coming out of a game like Grambling, to where his team absolutely dominates. He didn't sound too happy about some of the things on special teams. The punt returning situation, it sounds like there's some meat left on the bone there, and some options with Brandon Innes and Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. So we shall see how that unfolds. But that team should feel good about what they've built over 2 weeks. And I think with some of the respect that OU is getting outside of Columbus and Athens, that can wake up a team right now that is feeling pretty good about themselves, even though we all know that they should dominate on Saturday evening. I was going to say afternoon, but it's a night game this week.
The last thing well, I'm not saying the last thing because Ohio State can line up against anybody and win. But I just think from a mental standpoint, it's very typical to say after a big win against a big team and a highly ranked team, the word letdown gets thrown around. The difference this time is there was no opponent after Texas for that word to be uttered. I didn't say it. You never said it. I think I used the phrase, how do you handle success? But I remember following it up with, it doesn't work this week. There's no definition of how to handle success. Their definition of it was, let's be perfect, because we can be against Grambling. I think that's how they judged Grambling. He kept saying, it's not about the scoreboard. I think somebody asked him, how come you didn't take a knee? He's like, we had another snap, we took it. We want that rep of handing the ball off in that stadium and doing it right. I wasn't trying to score. It was just finishing the game and going through the tape. And I mean the tape as in like a race. And so I listened to him today, and we were not really entering into any of that conversation about, will this team let down? If Ohio State would have lost a close game to Texas and come back and beat Grambling by the same number they did, what would we be talking about? Wouldn't be talking about this game. No. We'd be talking about measuring them against Texas again. Could they play them again? Where does this put them in the rankings? How are they going to be? Like the questions we would have had coming out of Texas if they lost a close game would have been slightly different than how we're viewing them now because they won it and they deserve to win it. And so the Grambling game, as I mentioned yesterday, it was a speed bump to get us to what you just said. In-state rival, little more juice, recruiting questions about the state. You got a question today, is this good? Tressel liked to play in-state schools. Do you? Urban couldn't care less sometimes. Like, what was it? And he's like, you know what? I think it's good for the state. He answered that question. So while we didn't get much about Grambling last week, there's some juice this week. Athens will be up here a little bit. It's a night game. People come up to party a little bit. I thought it was interesting that he was Adam asked him about, tempo, and I loved his answer. Tempo is situational. You get a team on their heels. You get a team that's tired. You got momentum. You go. You coach the game as it's going, and I like that. So I think we're kind of, you and I, and people like to talk about the Buckeyes, are talking about them still in the same breath as, wow, did they look good against Texas? And until we get another one like that, it's going to be difficult to keep judging it. I know we like to throw out that cliche or stupid cliche about, did you get better in week 2? There's no definition. And the other thing, he was talking about Jeremiah Smith and the uncharacteristic drops, and what does that say about him? It says he cares. It says he's an athlete. It says he's competitive. If you and I have in our own minds, maybe not everybody else's because they already know the answer, but if you and I come in here unprepared, unengaged, don't care, mail it in, we know, and you leave the studio, and if I said to you, and this isn't about predictions or opinions, that's just human, but you know what you bring to the table. And if you left this studio yesterday and thought you had a bad show, and then somebody asked you on the way out, hey, Matty had an uncharacteristic bad show. He came back Tuesday and had a great show. What does that say about him? You know what I would say to them? He cares. He cares. Yeah. And so I think that's it. And he's got the talent to do it. It's one thing, it was weird to watch Jeremiah not help out his young quarterback in the first game and not be a massive factor in the first game like everybody assumed he would be. But him just being on the field is a factor. Now, he knows he's got to catch the football. That's what he's, quote, paid to do. But it's interesting how we have to spend this time this week kind of having the Texas postgame still and where it is in the big picture versus where they are this week. So I actually love the way Coach Day's handled it. He knew it was a walkover game. His team walked over them and did it. And then he can nitpick the stuff that we even nitpicked yesterday. And here we are waiting, like you said. I think the night game gives us a little bit of juice.
And you heard him mention as well when he was asked about OU, like, hey, look at what they've done. Going into Rutgers' house week 1 and shaking the room for Greg Schiano and the Knights over there. And then week 2, everybody kind of took notice to what they did against West Virginia when West Virginia's fan base tried to take over OU Stadium. And that atmosphere was pretty tough in your own building, right, which is unexpected. And they found a way there. And Parker Navarro is a QB that I think you got to respect his skill set. Now, clearly it's a level up for what he's going to see, especially when you're looking on the other side of your offensive line, and it's Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs and some elite players there. We'll see how he handles it. But I think that's something that you can really sell to your team this week is that, yes, those guys know that they should win this game, but this isn't going to be a cakewalk the way it was against Grambling. And I loved hearing him talk about towards the end of the presser the personnel that they can get into on offense, because he seems very encouraged about where this offense is right now, but where it can be down the road and the versatility that they have within the offense this year. Not that they didn't have it last year, but I think AR, he feels good about that tight end room and the options he has in there. And he talked about Max Clare and Will Kazmarek and those guys and what they have been doing and how they're growing right now before our eyes. But he just said we don't want to get stuck in certain personnels, right? Like 11 personnel where it's Carnell and Jeremiah, and that's the focus all the time. We want to stress defenses out everywhere, and we've seen that over the first 2 weeks, whether it's guys blocking with the big Kazmarek block week 1 and against Texas that led to the Carnell touchdown, or Max Clare bouncing back from drops last week. It's just some good stuff happening there. And so that unit, I think, can really raise the ceiling of this year's offense. And for a quarterback that is still young, but is going to grow week in and week out, that unit, I think, will be a force. And you can hear it in his voice that he sees the vision of where this offense is going to be. And maybe not right now as far as them having everything rolling, but in time that's on the way. And that's going to be a scary aerial attack to deal with week in and week out.
In the immortal words of Coach Norman Dale, Matty, the boys and I are getting to know each other and see who we are and what we can be. Okay. So far, I like what I've seen. I think that's what he's saying. He also has the proof that this is an absolute marathon of a season. Now, it may not work. It may not go that route for them this year. This year, they may be good enough to earn the bye and get to a Big Ten title game, have to play that one, and then skip and have a different strategy than what they had this year, which is backs against the wall. How do we light a fire? Impossible to lose 2 games at home, like I said, which has never happened since I've been talking about it and covering them. And they had a lot of anger pent up last year, a lot of pent up aggression they wanted to unleash on Tennessee. And it started the ball rolling. As far as this year, you don't know. They may go to Indy December 6th, and they may be hoisting a Big Ten trophy, or they may have to then relight the fire instead of starting it.
I hear you, man. And look, we can talk big picture all we want here, and I think we have every right to do that with the way that this season looks like, how it can unfold,
how it started.
But for them, correct, and for them, it's just got to be brick by brick. And I can't wait to see 2 weeks from now, I believe their first road game at Washington. And I don't really know what Washington is right now, but that's another situation to where you'll be a little bit uncomfortable, toughish type of venue there. That's the next, I think, test where we'll really learn how they can handle being out of their own venue here at the Shoe. So, yeah, I mean, look, we knew coming into this season that they had some pillars to build around. What we didn't know is other guys that are going to need to step up, and were they ready to do it? It looks like certain guys are ready to answer the call, but the quarterback is looking the part right now. And yes, it was Grambling last week, but Coach Day talked about some of the things that he's seeing from Julian, and that's what you love to hear, is that this guy is seeing things well, he's processing quickly and getting the rock out, and so he is starting to roll within this offense and gain confidence week in and week out. And the more this offense can evolve and expand beyond some of the things that we saw in week 2, the scarier they're going to be. And so this is just what it is, man. Ohio State, year in and year out, the talent is always there. You just got to see it roll out there for a few weeks, and Ohio State just seems to be on their way to another impressive season under Ryan Day's watch.
Listen, I said it right after the Texas game. Nobody expected them to blow out Texas. That wasn't really in the cards. What was great about it is that they had to answer a lot of tests in that game. Goal line stand to keep them out, which was massive, and then the last defensive stand, which was massive. And so they didn't skate over them, but they got the same confidence you'd get out of beating them badly. And it's almost better they didn't. It really is. I think it keeps you a little more engaged. You trounce them somehow, and then it's exactly what the shirt says, Ohio against the world. Like, it's then it's nobody's at your level. And I don't think they believe that. The interesting thing about Washington will be, I don't know how good Washington State is, but they'll have to play they'll go to Washington State before they play Ohio State.
Okay.
So maybe they'll get tested there, maybe they won't, because I don't think they have been to this point.
No.
Maybe in their...
It's Colorado State and UC Davis. They hung 70 on UC Davis. And I know some people like their quarterback in DeMond Williams and his skill set. So something to monitor definitely in that rivalry game for them, because he's a dual threat guy that can hurt you with his legs.
We'll talk more Buckeyes, of course, throughout the show. Got a nice show for you today. We'll have, according to us, we will have Tyvis Powell on at 1:30. So we'll talk the Brownies' moral victory and a lot there. Bill Kurlick, our friend and a guy I've known for 31 years, is going to come on the program at 1:45. The Dean of Recruiting. He is hanging it up. And that came through an announcement through Bucknuts. And he will join us on the program at 1:45. Don't miss that. His memories, how it started, and where it's finishing for him. And then Austin Ward will deeper dive into the Buckeyes in the final hour. We'll come back. We'll hit a little bit of the unlikely comeback last night. And then Fool's Paradise, Maddie, where we stand after week 1 in the old Fan Fantasy League. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Back to work, school, it's all happening. It's real life. Routine shouldn't be a bad word. How about winning rhythm? Losing weight every week with Awaken 180 and looking forward each day in every weigh-in. Fast results online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Dormar, your climate hero. When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Feeling a lot more like summer this afternoon. Lots of sunshine in the forecast and highs getting up right around 80 degrees with light winds. For tonight, mostly clear skies overnight with our lows down into the 50s, and we are rinse and repeat again for Wednesday. You'll need those sunglasses, and it'll be warm in the afternoon with highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Let's scratch that fantasy football itch. It's Rothman and Ice's Fool's Paradise.
I love Fool's Paradise time. All right, week 1. You know what fantasy's about. You can score 150 and lose. You can score 60 and win. Kind of like hockey in that way. All right, let's check the league standings here. Maddie, am I changing the name finally this year? The Zim Reaper seems kind of old, and I mean obviously it went when Zim was coaching the Vikes.
Yeah.
I was going to change when Darnold was there. I was going to change him to the Sunny Delights.
Okay.
When I nicknamed him was Sunny D.
Yeah.
But then he's gone. Now he's gone.
He gone.
Do I dare? I'm not going to do it to McCarthy. I'm not going to come up with some fantasy name yet. That's not happening.
May have to. One of my boys has an amazing he has an amazing fantasy football name in our other league. He's a Seattle Seahawks fan and a big Ohio State fan as well. His fantasy name is I'm Sorry Smith Jackson. You putting that together? I'm Sorry Smith Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Oh, that's
like
okay.
Outcast. That's an amazing fantasy name right there. That's one of the best out there for sure. I'm Sorry, Smith Jackson.
If you're nasty. Okay,
but I think right now we can ride the wave of the Zim Reaper. I don't think we need to force it. You know, haven't got it done with the Zim Reaper yet, but there's been a lot of success that has come along with that. We just got to get you over the hump. So I think let's stay locked in with the Zim Reaper.
I am 1-0. You are 1-0.
Doing all right, man.
Points-wise, that puts me second in the 10-team league. It puts you fourth.
Okay. Listen, man, it's just all about getting to the postseason. It's a grind, man. There's going to be great weeks. There's going to be disappointing weeks, as you alluded to off the top. But what really put it over the top for me was what Derrick Henry did against the Buffalo Bills. 18 carries, $169, and 2 tutties there. And so that was the big difference maker for me this week. How about you on your side?
Well, everybody knows by now I lost Xavier Worthy on the first series.
Thanks, Travis Kelce.
Thanks, Taylor.
I would love to hear Andy Reid's explanation as to who goofed that up. I haven't heard that yet, and I'm sure he was asked about it. But what happened on that play, especially that early on, where plays are usually scripted and everybody knows what we're doing?
It looked like the defense kind of leveraged him into Kelce, but I'll have to take a look because he's obviously such a lightweight.
He really
he can
is.
get kind of moved off his route if you're physical with him. But he was pretty much under. So whatever that crossing route was, you're right. We have not heard. I'd love to hear what. By the way, did Kelsey, is he doing the pod with his bro? Like, is that still happening?
I'm not up to date on how they roll out the pods during the season. I'm not sure.
Got to be a topic.
When does that $100
Took
million
out your best weapon.
When does that $100 million deal kick in for their podcast? Is that this year? Well, I mean, that's amazing for them. My goodness.
Yeah.
100 M's for a podcast?
Yeah, I don't think they have to play the Powerball.
Wow.
Josh Allen won the week for me.
Okay, makes sense.
MVP for him.
Makes sense.
So I overcame a goose egg by Xavier Worthy. A little worried now about the Achane pick. Is the second pick for me. A little worried. I went RB hero kind of in my draft. And I feel like I got him because I knew he was going to catch a lot of passes. And if Tua, this is the big if, stays healthy, he would just keep dumping it off to him. Their offense is an absolute mess, kind of like the way their coach was dressed over the weekend.
That's your boy. You like him.
He
doesn't shower.
I know. And I love the way he just throws on the Sunday gear like he was a fan.
I've been saying it all season. The vibes around that team have been absolutely horrible. And now you got another legal story popping up in the news with Tyreek Hill today. It's just like, my goodness, that is just a ship that is just leaking water everywhere. And it just seems like they're going to sink at any given moment.
All right, right now through week one. What's your best draft? Your best pick is Henry at 9. Is that where you got him?
Probably.
Yeah, I would say Henry at 9 is your best pick.
Probably.
My best pick, I believe, might turn out to be Tyler Warren. Might be.
Oh,
I think he's off to a really good start.
Yeah. They're gonna.
I don't know where did I get him? 6th, 7th round. I kind of reached a hair for him.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Remember. This is what you do, though. You are the rookie tight end guy. 3 years in a row. Laporta, check. Brock Bowers, check. Tyler Ward.
Let's go.
Here we go. Real quick.
Worst pick. Which pick do you not like so far?
Right now, like I look at my roster and even my bench, like I got Jacoby Myers, Jordan Mason, Diggs. I got Sampson, Dylan Sampson, Quinshawn. Like, I'm not really mad at anybody on my bench. A name I was going to mention that you should monitor as far as waiver wire stuff goes is the Tootin, last name Tootin, running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jag just made a trade to send someone to Philly yesterday. Tank Bigsby, running back. So he looks like he's next in line to ETN. Could be a name to watch, a decent handcuff moving forward now that he's got a little bit of runway to take advantage of some of those RB2 spots. RB2 snaps for Jacksonville.
Yeah, if you're looking for a receiver, and I know all leagues are different. We only have 10 teams, so there are a few dudes out there. But, I mean, from a tight end standpoint, I just mentioned Tyler Warren. There's no way that Fannin Jr. is... Well, he could be out there.
I wouldn't say no way. He's going to be a very hot... I mean, I think tight ends like Hunter Henry, Brenton Strange... tight end for the New Orleans Saints, Juwan Johnson got a bunch of targets.
Big streamer.
In that game. So I think there's some decent tight end options to pick up for sure.
Remember this, and I'm glad you mentioned him. Taysom Hill, my hero.
You love this man.
Is out until at least week 5.
Okay.
So the Juwan Johnson you just mentioned is fairly big with that, too.
Correct, no doubt, because it looks like he and Olave are going to soak up a lot of the targets. Obviously, Kamara will do his thing there. By the way, Saints, whatever they were wearing on Sunday, burn those in the trash. Worst uniforms in the league on Sunday. Oh, my goodness. I thought they were awful.
Okay.
I love the helmet. It's one of my favorite helmets they had. But that gold uniform that they had on.
Gold, Jerry, gold.
Nasty work. Absolute nasty work there. So, yeah, I mean... maybe another waiver wire name to monitor is, I think Hollywood Brown, man. I think with your boy down, Xavier Worthy. I mean,
Juju and Hollywood.
Yeah, I'd probably roll with Hollywood over Juju because I think Hollywood's more explosive. But yeah, either one of those guys, if we find out, and we still have not heard the severity of the Worthy injury, definitely some viable options there as well.
It's weird for me to say that, maybe the Chiefs could get well against that Eagles secondary, but it's possible. If they can hold up, and they might be able to get a little well against them.
And I guess
in a rematch of the Super Bowl.
Jalen Carter is playing in this game. I mean, we'll talk to Shefty about it tomorrow, but nothing on that front either as far as is it just a fine, or is it going to be a suspension too?
All right, Sports Center update here, top of the hour. We'll get back to it. The biggest headlines from week 1 in the NFL and last night's very unlikely win. What do you have to say now? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Right now in Washington, there's a fight going on to make life more affordable and bring back American jobs. Some play politics, and some want to get things done. Senator John Husted is cutting through the noise, putting Ohio first. The new tax bill delivers for working families and helps small businesses hire and grow right here in Ohio. Tell John Husted, keep fighting for Ohio families and small businesses. Paid for by Senate Opportunity Fund.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Get eco.
Hey, Aaron, you know how we say eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians? Yeah? So, that makes for a lousy acronym. PHVAC. Doesn't work. Okay, but... So what if we change it to plumbing, heating, AC, and electrical? PHACE. Face. With a PH.
Get eco.
No one is going to remember face with a PH. Call Eco today and ask for a face man with a PH. No one is going to ask for a face man with a PH. Sure they will.
Get eco.
Besides, we spent thousands of dollars saying plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. You can't just change it to face man with a PH. It could be big, Aaron. I don't think so. Would you rather I go back to inventing random household items and stop messing with your catchphrase? Yes, please.
Get eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians, not face men. With a PH.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC. An equal housing lender.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions. And yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. For the first time in 15 years, Ohio State hosts Ohio on Saturday at 7. Buckeyes 6-0 all-time versus the Bobcats. NFL, Vikings beat the Bears 27-24 last night in Chicago, scoring 21 of the last 28 points. 49ers tight end George Kittle will miss a few weeks due to a right hamstring injury. Quarterback Brock Purdy's Week 2 status unknown after dealing with shoulder and toe injuries. Baseball tonight, Guardians host the Royals at 6:40. Cleveland won 10-2 last night, 2.5 games out of the third AL wildcard spot. Reds are at the Padres at 9:40. San Diego won the opener 4-3-10. Dodgers took another no-hitter into the ninth, but lost it in their 3-1 win over the Rockies. Los Angeles is the first team ever to lose a no-hitter in the ninth inning twice in a 3-day span. This update sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
You know, there's a weird time at the end of that Viking-Bear game last night, Matty, where the Bears didn't kick that ball out of bounds or try to preserve that 2-minute warning or whatever.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was all over Ben Johnson on the Manning cast.
I wasn't on the Manning cast. I was on the main broadcast last night.
I always lean over towards the Manning cast. There's just something for me about Peyton and Eli. They're dynamic, right? Just brothers going back and forth, giving each other some you-know-what throughout the game, but also just diving into the brains of one of the best ever do it in Peyton and a very accomplished one in Eli Manning, just how they see the game. It's pretty cool for me. Like, Aikman and Buck are fine. Like, I know what they're bringing to the table. When I can get the Peyton and Eli stuff going, like, I'm in on the Manning cast. Like, it works for me. But, yeah, Peyton was he was kind of he was calling out, but it wasn't anything harsh or anything. But, yeah, he was highlighting that moment for sure and thought Ben Johnson needed to step it up a little bit more as a head coach.
This is not a newsflash. We live in a world of extremes as far as our opinions go, and there are people that aren't willing to give a guy a quarter, let alone a game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I texted a cousin of mine in Chicago, and he was talking about like J.J. McCarthy and this and that, and I just wrote back, I said, from bust to bust. Meaning Canton. And that's kind of where he went. And I had this, Z won't mind if I call him out. So Zoran is our big Dolphins guy.
Oh,
and he's been taking his lumps since.
Zoran, I'm sorry.
He's been taking his lumps since this weekend.
Yeah.
And so he tweeted at me last night, your QB sucks too, brother. And that was at like 9:40 or whatever. Now, this is what I wrote back. Kind of a harsh assessment. He's a rookie, first start ever on MNF on the road, and it's still a one-score game. And then I doubled down. I said, Z, that's a ridiculous analysis this early.
Listen.
And then I tripled down. I said, and my guy doesn't make $53 million.
That's fair. Talk about it. Now, it did look pretty bleak through 3 quarters when J.J. McCarthy.
After the pick six.
Well, I was going to say that, and after 3 quarters, you got 56 passing yards.
I know.
You're 0 of 8 on 3rd down. I can understand why people would lean that way just a little bit. But
lean bust?
Well, I mean,
that's what Twitter was doing.
Fine, whatever. But I'm just saying, maybe not that far, but the results were the results at the time, and it didn't look good. However, your boys figured it out. And J.J. McCarthy in the 4th quarter, 6 of 8 and 101 total yards. And you could see throughout the game that, yes, look, the Bears were getting after you guys up front a little bit. You didn't have Christian Darrisaw, your starting left tackle, so there was going to be some pressure in his face. And this was always going to take time to figure out. You're talking about a guy, no matter who it is, any rookie, right? And that's what he is. I know he was around, but he's a rookie on the field. This dude hadn't started a game in over 600 days. Over 600 days, and you're asked in your first game in the NFL, division rival, hostile environment, Monday Night Football. I mean, as a Viking fan, then you got to feel good with how he was able to get off the mat and show some poise.
Threw some darts.
He did.
After the pick six. And he's not the first quarterback to ever throw a pick six. He just came at a really bad time, and we've seen better quarterbacks throw pick sixes. And I agree. If they would have laid an egg and they would have come out of that game, there would have been a lot of questions, just like there always are questions. But, man, people couldn't even give him the game.
Well, I mean,
before they just buried him.
You know where we do radio, too.
Well, and I'm all right with that part because the other part was, well, I guess Connor Stallions isn't on the Vikes staff or whatever,
But you know who is? Kevin Bleepin O'Connell. You guys got you one. And a head coach, and especially as an offensive mind. The Vikings may have the best offensive play caller and defensive play caller combination in the sport.
Flores adjusted pretty well last night, too, because they could not tackle Caleb. He was just a slippery little salamander. He was, every time. And we had him several times. And I'll give Caleb a little credit. Outside of his T-shirt untucked under the jerk.
Okay, I'm so glad you brought that up.
What are we doing? It's game 1 on Monday Night Football. Can we tuck the shirt in?
I'm going to find you the text I sent my friends in our group message last night.
Looks like a practice.
I said, Caleb with the loose sleeves underneath is one of the weakest quarterback looks I've ever seen.
The bottom, the waist.
The gray T-shirt that was underneath was a horrendous look.
Oh. See, the sleeves didn't bother me as much as the untucked shirt under the jersey.
Just negative aura points for Caleb Williams.
He looked
right
good.
There.
I mean, early on, he was running all over the place.
I didn't remember him being that fast.
There was one play on the outside on the right where he hit another gear, and you're right. He was always kind of physical, tough to bring down, but he wasn't that fast. And so, but here's the big stat, and this is going to be a problem for McCarthy now. Because he's going to have to now, he has set the mark now. That fourth quarter was like, okay, here, Fran Tarkenton, here we go. After the pick six, I mean, he just owned the game. And he's the first quarterback to score 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns in his NFL debut. He's the first Vikings quarterback to throw multiple touchdowns in his NFL debut since Hall of Famer Fran Tarkenton. There
you go. Print the shirts, TLC.
And ironically, Tark did it against the Bears, too, in week 1, which is weird. That's weird. Yeah. But anyway, this is what they're talking about in Minnesota. Tarkenton's debut was a foreshadowing of what was to come for him. 18 NFL seasons, retired as the league's all-time career passing leader, NFC championships, league MVP, all that. And then he got another one lopped on. McCarthy also became the first quarterback to overcome a fourth-quarter deficit of at least 10 points in his NFL debut since Hall of Famer Steve Young 40 years ago, who went on to be as decorated as anybody, 2 league MVPs and a Super Bowl MVP. And now McCarthy is the first guy since those 2 guys to do what he did last night.
Yeah, that's cool.
And now it's a 22-year-old making his first NFL start 17 miles away from where he grew up is a damn big deal. And you could see where after that pick six that they would have lost him mentally. They had no running game at the time. The defense couldn't keep up with Caleb, but it was still at that time a gettable game. And KOC said to him, he's like, I looked in his eyes at halftime and said, You're bringing us back tonight. You're bringing us back. And he goes, I saw the look in his eye, and it was a good one. So now maybe that's just for PR now, but
no, I think it's real. Like, because I mentioned the venue, the setting of Monday Night Football, being a rookie, and then on top of that this dude's following up a quarterback that came into Minnesota last year and led your team to a whole bunch of wins. And so he had a lot on his plate. And look, it's only one game, but I thought he handled it well because I don't know how many young quarterbacks can take a 2-piece to the chin in the form of a pick six at that point in the game and still be able to get off the mat. And those dudes believe in him. Like the video going around this morning in the locker room to where, KLC's talking about how good he was and this is why you named him a captain. Like you could see his teammates are rallying around that dude. And so the NFC North was a banger of a division last year. And if JJ, and even I like some of the things that Caleb brought to the table.
I do.
Like I just think that division is going to be very, very entertaining again. And we'll see your Vikings in prime time this Sunday night against Atlanta at home. And then AR, you might have to go down to the jungle week 3. Mm-hmm. September 21st, you might have to get down there. Weather's going to be nice, should be nice. Joey B on one side, JJ on the other. You might have to be in the building for that. I know you know some people that can get you into a suite.
I thought that game was up in Minnie.
I'm sorry, yeah, Minnesota.
Okay,
I'm sorry, yeah. You have to get up there.
If I could drive
get up there. Get on up there.
September 21st.
Make it happen. Like that's a bye week for Ohio State?
Yeah, I know, but and just fly back that night?
You got a PJ on deck, don't you? You know somebody.
Wouldn't be a bad place. Wouldn't be a bad thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bye week, maybe you can make it happen. Take a little Monday off. We'll hold it down. See, I got him thinking, TLC. He's thinking like, hey,
if you guys can guarantee me that Monday off, I'll go.
Okay. I love it because that's going to be a great atmosphere with the Bengals.
And I won't take a bottle to the back of the head being on a roadie.
You guys doing the security? Never mind.
No, I'm talking about
right. You'll be in Viking gear.
Because I'm not really that motivated to do the road stadium thing in gear. Like it's just, and I'll stay out of my own way. I mean, I'm not gonna cause any problems, but trouble's gonna find me. Know that.
You were ready to.
That was a whole different thing. I was rolling deep with you and
3 other dudes
and 3 other of my friends. Like we were.
See, he's that guy. I had him with some people like, hey, if we want to fight, you guys take care of it. I'll start it, but I got dudes that'll handle it. AR is that guy.
No, I would have been in it with you, but wouldn't have been good.
That's good. AR, you guys have 2 home games.
I don't think I've been in a fight since like summer camp.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, who gets into fights when they get to be an adult?
Oh,
like
never
physical fights.
Never like in your 20s, like at a bar with your friends or anything? Nothing? No scuffles at all? I've had a couple of those. TLC, you had a couple of those?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've had a couple.
Well, Maddie got like Maddie got some kind of Maddie. He was telling us he was leaving someplace and got some swill dripped on him or something.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
So it was okay. So we were leaving. We were out at some bar. I was probably like 22 at the time, and these girls, as we were all leaving the club, they started fighting, like right in front of me and my boys.
Cat fight.
Like right at the door. So we couldn't just like wiggle our way out of there. And so at some point in time, I just remember, and specifically it being Budweiser beer just all over me somehow, some way because of this cat fight, man. So yeah, I've seen a lot of fights out, and I'm not proud to say, but the friends and I have stumbled in a couple of situations as well. But everybody, made it out safe.
The Iceman cooling off.
I'm surprised. You haven't had any fisticuffs.
I can't remember No, I can't remember any actual like shoving even or I mean
getting in the face of anybody.
Words I'm sure have been uttered, but nothing that escalated to
let's get it.
That's not me, man. I'm fairly non-confrontational.
Fairly.
I really am. And so that's but every now and then you got to, stand up.
Of course, you got to dig in.
I can't remember.
Okay, I'm surprised.
I got into more fights with my brother than anybody else.
Would you stand up for one of your friends if someone was mouthing off at one of your friends? Would you get in the middle of it?
Depends how we're sizing up the situation.
Would you pull a Lamar Jackson?
I'd be more likely to de-escalate than I would be to escalate.
What if somebody badmouthed one of your dogs?
Okay, that doesn't even make sense.
Stone Cold Stunner. That's what that person.
That doesn't make any sense.
That first question was just a setup for the second question.
That doesn't make sense.
If you saw TLC and I getting jumped, would you hop in, or what would you do?
Cheer you on.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what do you want me to do.
Get in there. That's rule number one.
He's like 6'5", and you're obviously fit. I'm not going to do anything.
We're getting jumped. You got to get in there, AR.
Yeah, we said something bad on the radio and somebody's upset with us and they're coming after us.
The first move is to jump in there rather than to call for help?
That's the real sign of brotherhood. Yeah. If your boy is getting jumped, you got to get in there and help him out physically. You have to try at least.
No weapons, just fists.
Just get in there, because then I'll come out of that looking at you funny. Like you saw me getting beat down.
And it's not possible.
And you didn't come in there? Come on, man.
I think I'd probably join the fight somehow.
There we go.
The best I could.
Yeah.
I don't know what I got, but I'd give it to you somehow.
What was the line Bobby told us about Bill Parcells when he was talking to somebody?
I got one great fight left in me. Don't make it be you.
That's a great line.
That's good.
By the way, how about taking you to Skull? Stuff for my fantasy name.
Oh, that works.
Okay, I think we're going to change
that
it.
Works.
I think I got to move on from the old one.
Okay.
I didn't do it last year because I had reeled off 8 in a row, and I didn't want to screw
Taking
up anything.
you to Skull.
Who are we waving at?
Oh, man. Uncle Dom was throwing away his Chick-fil-A and waved at me through the door.
It's very casual. You notice how TV people view radio.
That's like the farthest trash can from his desk in this building.
I don't know what he was doing.
Well, maybe he wanted to be on the radio, Matty.
Saw some Chick-fil-A.
Invite him in. You got an empty seat next to you.
He's always welcome.
There's been an odds shakeup for the Super Bowl and the playoffs. The team that improved their playoff odds the most after week 1. Who is it? I'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking about football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
Oven-baked French toast, hot melty cheese, and meat, and meat, and meat. Introducing UDF's new 3-meat French toast sandwich, piled with bacon, sausage, and Canadian bacon. United Dairy Farmers, mornings made for you.
Hi, I'm Coach Ryan Day, and I've seen firsthand how tough and resilient kids can be. But I've also seen the struggles that aren't always visible. Mental health challenges are real. That's why I'm proud to partner with the Kids Mental Health Foundation. Together, we're helping parents, teachers, and coaches talk to kids about mental health before there is a concern or crisis. Start making kids' mental health a part of every day with free tools and resources at kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org.
Back to work, school, it's all happening. It's real life. Routine shouldn't be a bad word. How about winning rhythm? Losing weight every week with Awaken 180 and looking forward each day in every weigh-in. Fast results online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Dormar, you're pilot hero.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Other stations have crappy ratings and they wonder why no one listens. So instead of investing money in local talent, they fire people and plug in AI voices. Gee, real entertainment. Well, all of our dummies are real, damn it. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey, it's Anthony. Synergenics and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. They've been changing the lives of men across the country for more than a decade. So if you've been thinking about testosterone, or if you've noticed that you're getting older, more tired, not motivated to do anything, it's not just aging. It's a physical and mental change to your body. Testosterone can actually help. And it all starts with a quick test. The on-site lab makes it quick and easy to get results in as fast as about 20 minutes. And if you decide you want the treatment and you want it at home, let the provider know, and they'll educate you on everything you need to know about treating yourself at home. And for a limited time only, visit any Synergenics or Low T Center for a free hormone consultation, and you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, or you may even win a pair of tickets to a major sporting event. Book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Feeling a lot more like summer this afternoon. Lots of sunshine in the forecast and highs getting up right around 80 degrees with light winds. For tonight, mostly clear skies overnight with our lows down into the 50s, and we are rinse and repeat again for Wednesday. You'll need those sunglasses, and it'll be warm in the afternoon with highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
The reason it was really important for Ben Johnson to win that game last night and seal that up is obviously you want to protect home field against a division rival in a game that you have, at least you feel you have, going into the fourth quarter. And then the other big reason is this. The Bears go to Detroit this week. So he returns back against a team that lost, and now you've got 2 0-1s in the division playing each other.
Yeah, that is big.
And he's got to try to find a way to beat his former team on the road, or then everybody in Chi-Town's like, oh, Ben.
And on top of that, you're dealing with a Lions team that just got embarrassed against a divisional opponent in Green Bay Sunday afternoon into the evening. And so, yeah, they are absolutely going to be on full tilt. We know that Detroit's got their own issues that they're working through, right, with the coordinating stuff and how good is that offensive line now, which has been a dominant unit for a long time, especially the interior. I mean, Taylor Decker and Sewell, I think, on the outside are elite tackles. But, yeah, the guys up front, man, can they still bully people the way that we've seen them do that? What time is that game, or is that a
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock game? Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll
unfortunately going up against Browns-Ravens. Yeah, no, it's.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. I think you are. Yeah, you are. Okay. What else is happening in that 1 o'clock window?
Bengals, Jags.
Quick? Bengals, Jags.
Yeah, that should be a decent game.
That'll be pretty good.
How about Thursday night? Washington at Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for that.
That's a good one.
I think so. 425 is obviously the Super Bowl rematch. Philly and Kansas City. Then the nightcap is Atlanta at Minnesota.
Vikes primetime twice, 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Ridiculous. All right. Who's the team I teased? Who's the team that made the biggest jump in playoff odds? Teams to make the playoffs from week 1 or week 0 to now.
Just to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Team that made the biggest jump. 26% rise.
Just to make the play.
From 34% to 60%.
Was it the Cardinals?
No. Good guess.
Boy. Who would that have been?
They were 34% to make the playoffs before the season started. Nope. And they were now at 60.
Okay. One more guess.
Numbers one more time. You said 34?
34% chance to make the playoffs before the season started. Today, they're at 60.
Is it Jacksonville?
No, but...
Shoot, no. The team that I was going to say definitely had higher odds than that. I was going to say Chargers.
So no Steelers, Cardinals, Jags.
No.
Who is it, AR?
It is the Indianapolis Colts.
Danny Dimes, baby.
Wow.
Danny Dimes.
Because of, A, the division.
Yeah.
B, what happened this week in the division with Houston losing, and the fact that they looked good.
I'm not
against
gonna
a
take
trash
the bait.
team. I get it.
I wouldn't take the bait on that yet because I just think with guys like Danny Dimes, sometimes when you see them in week 8, week 9, and you're asking them to hold it down for an entire year, that could get a little dicey. However, maybe he is this year's Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. We shall see. I wouldn't roll with that just yet. So the Colts playoff bet, I wouldn't be willing to sprinkle any coin on that.
No. It'd be nice if you got him before the season. You'd be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt.
What changed for us in the odds? Not a whole lot. I think the Ravens and Bills kind of just not swap places, but they're both right there. Bills are obviously the big favorite right now. And I'll have to check and see what the Packers were before the season started to win the Super Bowl. But they're 8.5 to 1. Their odds are better than the Chiefs.
I want to say they were like 16 to 1, 12 to 16 to 1, somewhere in that window. The team that really was an eye-opener to me, and this team, we've got a doubleheader coming up this Monday, is the Chargers. And the Chargers are going to play the second game of a doubleheader on Monday against the Raiders. First one will be Tampa and Houston, which is going to be fun to watch. But, man, the Chargers, I was a little concerned about the Rashawn Slater absence, right? And his injury no longer being there every week for them is going to be tough to overcome. And that still may be the case. But Justin Herbert put the squad on his back.
He looked good.
He looked good, didn't he? And so the Chargers, I don't view them as a Super Bowl contender right now. But if they're going to get that Justin Herbert, that's a quarterback that can go toe-to-toe and blow for blow with some of the best quarterbacks in the sport. And so, yeah, I think their value right now, to me, looks pretty darn good.
I'll tell you what you wouldn't have predicted, that the Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders would all be 1-0 and the Chiefs would be 0-1 in that division. Like, that's not something we would have said. We like the Chargers. We like Denver. We didn't think the Raiders were much. Speaking about, early coach of the year jump ups, Matt LaFleur, even though the Packers were supposed to be very good, had mentioned, like, we went more for value. But if Pete Carroll pulls anything off here,
he knows what the heck he's doing. He knows what the heck he's doing. And that's why I said, the Raiders had the biggest level up at two of the most important positions in a franchise, quarterback and head coach. And you can see they made life tough against the Patriots in week 1. So there's structure there to where the Raiders, at minimum, are going to be a tough out for anybody because of Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly calling the plays, and you got a vet at quarterback that's a steady hand.
The best value bet right now to win the Super Bowl. Not Baltimore, Buffalo, not Philly. Anybody below them, where's the value? And I'll give you the odds. So we'll take Buffalo, Baltimore, and Philly off the table. Packers are 8.5 to 1. Chiefs are 11 to 1.
Yeah.
Lions are 18 to 1. So are the Niners. Commanders 18 to 1 as well. Chargers 18 to 1 as well. Then Rams at 20. Bengals at 20. Vikes 25, Denver 25, Tampa 25. And then if you want me to name another one, I will. That's as low as I think I can go.
How low can you go?
As far as winning it.
Yeah. I mean, the Packers, I've been kind of riding their wave the last 2 weeks. I'm not going to pick them again. I'm in on the Packers after what I've seen with Mike in the mix.
Go for a real value pick. Is it weird to say it's got to be the Rams at 20 to 1?
They're already dealing with O-line injuries there. I don't like hearing that both their guards are now week to week with ankle sprains in front of a quarterback that's got a bad back.
Bengals at 22 to 1. This is the time to get them after a lackluster performance against Cleveland. You win the game. Offense doesn't look great. Burrow can't get going in the second half. If they come back home and protect home field against the Jags, that 22 to 1 is going to get worse.
It won't be there. Yeah,
it won't be there.
Right.
Denver at 25 to 1. But is Bo Nix really winning the Super Bowl? I mean,
maybe their defense can, but
Tampa
I don't see that.
Tampa won that game. They almost did.
They almost had Atlanta creep back.
Is Baker winning a Super Bowl?
I wish.
Want to talk about? Oh man, the orange and fudge. That would.
Why I wish.
That'd be the last.
I love
dagger.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, you're a Baker. You're a Baker, bro. Okay,
I am.
Okay. Oh yeah, Browns fans would be. They're probably already sick.
Was Tyvus a Baker, bro?
I don't remember.
Let's ask him next.
All right.
In 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Script Ohio necklaces, Blocko earrings, Ohio State bangles, and more. You'll find an exclusive collection of luxury Buckeye jewelry you'll love at the Diamond Cellar, starting at $99. Show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
This sports report brought to you by Bet365. Football is back. Get ready for the season at Bet365. When it comes to sports books, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Is it time for a new or used car? Visit Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161, home of the Tansky Promise, where our salespeople aren't paid on commission. We have a 72-hour exchange policy, and every transaction is upfront and transparent. You can even start the process at home. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to start your purchase today and to see all of this month's specials. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Breaking Down the Browns with Tyvus Powell.
All right, we'll be breaking it down with Tyvus.
Yeah,
look at this. We're on time. He's late.
Yeah,
he's not going to like that.
No, because he bodied us all the time because we're always late. But yeah, the Baker dynamic has to be a tough one for Browns fans just to see. It's the ex that got away, that leveled up and married the billionaire and is living his good life. And Baker's down there in Tampa cooking with the Bucs and throwing up really good numbers and helping them get to the postseason. And so, yeah, I mean, that's got to be tough because they've been searching high and low for a quarterback for years and years, as we all know.
Tyvus, were you a Baker bro?
believed in Baker. I liked Baker when he was here. I wanted it to work. I thought that I think Baker stole everybody's hearts with that Thursday night game against the Jets where, he ran the Philly special and they ended up winning that game. Everybody was high on Baker at that point.
Was there any truth to all the rumors that, he divided the locker room a little bit? I think there was a story on The Athletic that he was difficult to coach, that he was kind of childish, immature. I thought he was a gamer. I thought he played tough. He played injured, but most of his teammates like him?
Yeah, I think that what happened in that situation is it's one of those situations where you hurt, you're not going to be the best of you're not going to be at your best. So you're kind of putting us at a disadvantage. And I think it was one of those things that I truly still feel in my heart that should have been better coaching. Like, Kevin should have been one of those guys that was like, listen, you hurt, you can't do the things I want you to do, so therefore you ain't going to play. Like, that should have been the thing that was done. But I also believe that front office needed to see Baker to make a decision on what they wanted to do. And they just it would have been his best interest to sit. But they clearly have moved on, so it is what it is.
Wasn't it Odell Beckham's dad that kind of divided it because he threw out that video? Yeah, everyone was, so that he wouldn't throw it to my son. I think that was maybe the line in the sand.
So the whole thing about that is, if you know Kevin, this is the same thing that Shador is dealing with. So when you're in Kevin's system, he's all about timing and rhythm. So like when you run your route, when I get into my back step and I hitch up and throw the ball, you should be right there. That's where you're supposed to be there. With Odell kind of put a little sugar on the top of his routes, and he kind of ran some little Christmas tree routes from time to time, so he wasn't where Baker thought he would be, and that kind of just messed up the timing. So I think that's why that whole thing happened with Odell. That's why a guy like Amari Cooper was able to thrive. He came in, ran the routes, he was where he was supposed to be, ball came out, he made it happen.
Shout out to Amari Cooper. Hope you enjoy retirement. That's crazy. Dude retired at 31 and has over $100 million in his bank account. That's good living right there. T, let's go back to the game Sunday against the Bengals. I couldn't wait to ask you about Harold Fannin Jr. and what you thought about not only his production, but his versatility within the offense and how he was used, because he looked like he could be a real weapon for him.
I'll just tell you right now that Kevin Stefanski is jumping for joy. He's rejoiced. He finally got him one of these versatile tight ends. We kept joking about the fact that he wished he could have had a Brock Bowers, because Brock Bowers was taking jet sweeps at Georgia. Well, Harold Fannin could do all those same things. So I think that this might be the end for David Njoku. I'm not going to lie to you. They are really high on Harold Fannin. He was the guy that Joe Flacco would look for outside of Judy, of course, but he was the other guy that Joe Flacco really wanted to try to get the ball to. So, yeah, I think he's going to be the future of the Cleveland Browns.
They reached an agreement with Quinshon Judkins, 4 years, $11.5 million. So all their draft picks finally have deals. When should we look for him to kind of get into the mix? How long will this take?
So I just talked to Mary Kay about this. She was saying that he meets with the NFL today. She said that he got video evidence that shows that he's good, that he had nothing to do with anything. So she really doesn't think he will be suspended at all. With that being said, she don't necessarily think he will play this week, but she for sure knows that he will play next week if the NFL doesn't indeed suspend him.
What'd you think about Dylan Sampson?
I like Dylan Sampson's game. I just think our offensive line is not that good. I really do. We were just talking about on the show about we did a PFF run blocking grades, and they were terrible. The only two guys that was good was Joe Bitonio and Wyatt Teller. But the other ones it was bad. Our two tackles with DeJuan and Jack and Cornelius, they were not good in the run game. So I don't know how much big of a difference having like Quinshon going to be. Now, my whole thought was I thought the offensive line been overrated, in my personal opinion. And this is why I say it, because when you go back and you watch Nick Chubb, the one thing they said Nick Chubb was good at was he always made the first guy miss. Oftentimes, that first guy was in the backfield, and he just made them miss. So, to me, that offensive line hasn't been good in years. Nick Chubb just did a really good job of making us seem that way. And Quinn Shine got some really big shoes to fill. He's got to at least make the first guy miss to be successful behind that offensive line. My personal opinion.
Tyvis Powell with us, co-host T-Bone and Tyvis here on The Fan. Let me ask you this. Did you make T-Bone apologize to J.J. McCarthy on the air or no?
He did not apologize. Actually, he's doubling down on it. He just refuses to believe that this guy is good. He said the guy was terrible for 3 quarters, but he pulled it together for the 4th.
So the 4th doesn't matter? Like the comeback part of it is actually like you dismiss the comeback part, but you cement all the other?
He walked away saying what he realized was Kevin O'Connell could make anybody look good. So he's saying that JJ is in the Brock Purdy role where he won't give credit to JJ. He's giving all the credit to Kevin O'Connell. And he said that the Bears is the Bears.
Real quick, going back to the Brownies, as we all know, JOK not being there at the second level of the defense was a big hole, right? And a big what if to see who could step up. I thought Carson Schlesinger was flying around, man. I think he looks like he could be a force for the Brownies on the defensive side of the ball. What did you think?
I think the same thing. I mean, the guy, he led the team in tackles with 8. And then you got to remember that this is a guy who's wearing the green dot as a rookie. So he has all the responsibilities of getting the call, making sure everybody else got the call, making sure everybody lined up correctly. Oh, by the way, anticipating what's going to happen, communicating with everybody else around him what's going to happen. Then on the snap, got to go out there and actually make the play. That's a lot for a rookie. And the fact that he was able to handle that and do it at a high level and have the most tackles, he's going to be special. He's going to be really, really good. I think they really hit on that pick.
All right, so give me your best takeaway then on week 1 of the NFL. Are you in the camp of the Bengals got lucky this weekend against your Brownies, and they're going to be just perfectly fine, and the Bengals will be a playoff team? No question.
I still believe the Bengals will be a playoff team. I think that defense is going to be good enough. Just good enough. I know the Jamar Chase and T. Higgins thing was what it was. You got to give the Browns some credit. And, for the first drive, Cincinnati's offensive line looked pretty good. Myles Garrett and company took over in the second half, so they got to get better condition to go 4 quarters. But I think they're giving Joe just enough time he needs to be effective. He just got to have the receivers and Joe just got to have a better game pass.
Mason Graham pop off the screen for you at all?
The first drive, he popped off the screen in a negative light because I thought he played very high, and they escorted him out of the club every time he did it. But apparently, he got the message, and he got his pass down, and I thought he was very solid in there. He didn't do anything that jumped off the page. He just played very solid.
All right. The Buckeyes go over the speed bump that was Grambling. A lot of the backups got in, and they handled their business. Anything that we should take away from that game at all, or is it just about judging them on the way Ryan Day did, which is, if you can be perfect, you should be perfect?
Yeah, no, I think that it shows the growth of the program because years past, we struggled with teams like that out the gate. The Youngstown States, the Akrons, we struggled. This was one of the few times that I seen them from start to finish look like the team that they were supposed to look like. They went out there and handled business, so I give them a ton of credit for that. And I walked away saying Bo Jackson still needs a package of plays. I've been saying this since the end of the spring game. They need to incorporate Bo Jackson because the question that everybody has is Bo Jackson actually RB1? And I think it's very intriguing and very interesting to have that thought. So I would love to see him with a package of plays in each game because you can't deny the speed and the vision and all the things that he can bring to the table.
Coach Day talked today about, the versatility he feels like the offense either has right now or will have in the coming weeks as everybody just kind of figures things out in real games. And I think that tight end group has a lot to do with that, T. Talk about, from your perspective, a former safety, former defender, when you have multiple options for an offense and personnel groupings that they can throw at a defense, how that can just stress out what defenses have to deal with snap in and snap out.
Well, I mean, obviously, nobody really plays base anymore, but when you're going 13 and 14 personnel, you ain't got no choice but to bring the big guys in. So actually it's coming to a point where they might have to kick the corners out, have to play more safeties. That's the personnel that the Buckeyes are doing. They're predicting what defenses want to do. And then you got these guys who are really good in the run. You know, against Texas, I thought they were very good in the run, you know, getting their blocks, and then they reward them against Grambling by all of them catching touchdowns and things like that. So, you know, you got to be on high alert. Like, there's no telltale of what's going to happen when they do decide to play big like that. And I think it just shows you they can beat you in any other way. Now, I will say I still want that run game to be, you know, a little bit better, because last year I thought the Buckeyes were at their best because they could beat you running the ball and they could beat you throwing the ball. I'm still not all the way there on the run game yet, but I know we could do it passing the ball.
Yep. I'm with you, my man. Great stuff as always. We'll talk to you soon. Be well.
I'll see y'all later. Go Bucks, go Browns.
That is Tyvus.
Go Guards, we back.
You guys got hype. Hey, man.
Not giving up.
Almost had that no-no last night, man. It was close. But y'all hanging around, T. Looking all right, man.
That's all we need. Just bring us to the dance.
By the way, Tyvus, is Anthony Richardson's career over? You know, like Matty Ice's boy?
I wouldn't say it's over. I could see him getting traded to a place like the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell getting the best out of him. He just needs to sit behind a vet for a couple of years because he's young. He's just so young, and they tried to rush him in there. He doesn't have a ton of experience, but he got all the measurables to be good. He just don't know the game yet.
You must have missed the game last night. We have a quarterback. The Vikes.
Who?
The Vikes.
Oh, well, I didn't say bring him in to be a starter.
Okay.
No, I think I believe that Kevin O'Connell is a really good quarterbacks coach, especially when it comes to young quarterbacks. So I want him to teach Anthony Richardson what he knows about the game, them or Kyle Shanahan. He needs to go to one of those two to learn about the game of football, and then I think he could actually be pretty good.
All right. I just didn't want you to send him to the island of misfit toys we already have a guy.
He's not going to be – no. Okay. He's not going to start over J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
No.
See, Ice, there's still hope for your boy Anthony Richardson.
Because Tyvus is right. Like, dudes with that skill set, they get opportunities. Like, the league's not going to give up on them, especially at that position, so we'll see.
All right. Thanks, my man. Be well.
All right, Joe.
All right. Tyvus Powell on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fangist Hotline. All right, we're going to come back with our guy, Bill Kurlick, in the Buckeye Bulletin, and the Dean of Recruiting, hanging him up. We'll get the memories next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
Bucky Walters was one of the all-time great Reds pitchers, leading the Red staff in 1939 and 40 when they won back-to-back pennants. And on this September 9th, 1947, the Reds honored Bucky with a special night at Crosley Field and showered him with gifts, including a new luxury automobile. It was Christmas Day for Bucky, who also received a new freezer, an air conditioner, a grill, a set of luggage, and golf clubs. And then Bucky showed his appreciation by pitching one of his best games of the year, a 4-hit shutout of the Braves. Ironically, it was the last win of his long career. But what a night for Reds Hall of Famer Bucky Walters this September 9th, 1947. This date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your Tailgate transformation at awaken180weightloss.com.
IKEA is celebrating 40 years of making home dreams possible in the U.S. Visit us in store September 3rd until the 23rd for limited time offers and experiences like our Ortianta streetwear collection, our new Tilvercott furniture, daily chances to win gift cards, and more. Come celebrate 40 years of meatball-fueled shopping, brave attempts at our Swedish names, and the inexplicable need for stylish modern design. Offer valid September 3rd through September 23rd, 2025. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and ikea.us.com for details. Restrictions apply.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6 or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Is your money just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money's always doing something. Like auto saving for special events, tracking your teen spending, and helping protect your parents from fraud. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Take action with Logan Services now and do not miss out on tax credits up to $3,200 ending soon. Receive additional savings up to $3,000 and get next day installation. Logan Services.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and GermainHondaofDublin.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, a very special Buckeye Bulletin. As a guy I've known for 30-plus years, the dean of Ohio State recruiting, covering Ohio State and the Big Ten for all those decades, bucknuts.com, 247sports.com, CBS Sportsline, first with OSU Rivals and also ESPN. He's done so much to just, I guess, bolster college football and recruiting and the interest in it, and look how far we've come. And he was there at the very beginning, my friend Bill Kurlick. Bill, welcome back, my man. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Anthony. It's been an interesting day for sure. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I mean, like I told someone last night, I've never retired before, obviously, so this was all new. But it's gone well, and I appreciate it.
You started out as a guy that wanted to be around sports, coach it, and that wasn't the dream. I'm wondering when you took that fork in the road from wanting to coach either high school sports or beyond that to let me get involved in recruiting, how did that happen?
Well, I did. I always wanted to be a coach and be around sports, as you mentioned. And I was fortunate that I was at a very good high school. It was Dublin High School, which is now Dublin Kaufman High School. And my second year there, again, not too far out of college, I became the head basketball coach there, and also the girls softball coach, head girls softball coach. But I always wanted to be a head basketball coach, and I loved it. But to be honest, after, 7, 8, whatever it was, years, I started kind of getting a little bit tired of it. We had my last year coaching, we had a really good year. We were 21-2, and that was at that time the best record in school history basketball-wise. It was also, even when you have good seasons, because we did have good seasons, there's always little things that go wrong here and there. Everybody, no matter what you do, is not always happy. That's just the nature of coaching. But that was the year that I left coach. It wasn't that way. I mean, it was a year that we were 21-2, but more important, nothing went wrong. It just was incredible. And I had been thinking about maybe switching over to the recruiting business. And I decided, well, this is pretty much a good time to do it when you're coming off a season that just nothing went wrong.
Yeah. First, Bill, I want to say congrats to you on a tremendous career. Just doing what you did. You were one of the best. So just thank you for your coverage, and also just always thank you for your time, for coming on with us throughout the years. We definitely appreciate that. So I just wanted to start there. And I want to ask you this. When you look back at all the players that you've covered and recruited and all the stories, like what really sticks out to you? What was one of your favorite recruiting stories to follow throughout the years?
Well, I think the thing, Matt, that steps out overall is just the people. And this is what I said today. I don't know that I'm going to miss all of the hard work and long hours, and sometimes it is a grind. I absolutely have gotten up every day, never I guess you'd say not looking forward to going to work, so to speak. I've just enjoyed my job. But even so, it can be a grind. You know, I work every single weekend pretty much, especially when Ohio State's playing. So it can be a grind. But I was blessed. It was kind of a grind at times that even then I loved it. So I don't know that just the people I'm going to miss a lot, because you talk to these high school kids, you develop relationships with them, coaches and all. I'm certainly going to miss that. As far as one story, it's kind of crazy. I once told somebody that's younger in this business that I covered Randy Moss when he was being recruited, and told him some stories about that. And he said, "Bill, that's a drop the mic moment. Who in the world is still doing this that covered Randy Moss, or even covered him, period?" And I just kind of thought that was kind of interesting.
No doubt, man. You've been around a long time, but you were in it from the very beginning. Were you worried at the beginning when you first started this that there wouldn't be enough interest in it in the late 80s? Not that people weren't interested in college football, but just the recruiting aspect of it, the high school part of it. Were you worried about making a living at it once you changed?
Oh, yeah. My thing, so to speak, was coaching basketball first and foremost. But I knew back in those days there really wasn't a market to do this basketball-wise like I thought there was potentially football-wise. So that's part of the reason I decided to do football rather than basketball. There was, I thought, going to be a pretty decent market for it. And my idea was a little bit different. It wasn't to do things nationally. I decided that, I guess I decided that I want to do what I like to read. And I liked to read about Ohio State football recruiting. I didn't care about some kid in Oregon that Ohio State wasn't interested in, and he wasn't interested in Ohio State. I didn't really care about that. So I decided to do something different, and I started just covering Ohio State recruiting. And I didn't know if it was going to work. In fact, my first year, I made no money. My second year, I made no money. And I told my wife after that second year, if this doesn't start making money, that's it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to just, so to speak, be a teacher and maybe coach again and go from there. But the third year, it did start to make money. And I guess the rest is history a little bit. I guess here we are almost 40 years later.
Yep. And, hey, man, we have to ask you before we let you go about Ohio State now moving forward, the 2026 class, how things have shaped up for Ryan Day. We know more times than not they're going to bring in a heck of a crop of talent for sure. But when you look at what they've got now and what they're trying to build upon out there on the trail, your thoughts on what Ohio State fans could be looking at in years to come?
Well, I'll have to real quick start with 2025, because I was sitting there thinking, watching that game against Grambling, thinking, look at all these guys in the class of 2025. These are a whole bunch of guys making plays and doing really good things that 6 months ago or so I was talking to about their recruiting, and they're all out there. The 2025 class is really going to be special for Ohio State. I mean, special, really special. As far as 2026, it's a really good class. It's got 21 commitments in it, and it's got some tremendous talent at the top, like Chris Henry Jr. and Blaine Bradford and so on. Sam Greer, Maxwell Riley, Sincere Johnson. There's some really, and I could go on and on, really good players. You know, they've been a little bit, I don't know if you'd say hamstrung, because they're, following NIL rules and all, like they think that ultimately everyone's going to need to follow them. And I think in the long run it's going to pay off. And it's, even as it is, it's going to be a very, very good class. And one thing Ohio State does a great job of, they first and foremost use their NIL type funds and all that to keep their roster together as much as possible. And you saw what that resulted in, a national championship last year. And you know what? Who knows? They may have another national championship this year.
Well, you're going out on a high note, my man. And I always appreciated, when I got here in the early mid-'90s, dragging my TV gear over to your house. You always welcomed me in. I always loved seeing the dogs. We went into your den there, and we did the interviews old school. There was pre-internet. And I will tell you, you were very needed then, still needed now. You always have a voice here on this show, so thanks for taking the time, and I hope we get to see you soon.
I really, really appreciate it, Anthony. And you bring back memories of those days when you were coming over here and working very hard and to get all of the information and coming over. I really, really appreciate each and every time I've ever been on your show. You've been more than gracious.
You made it very easy, my friend. Be well, and best to you and your family. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Matty.
45 years ago, that man decided that people needed recruiting for Ohio State football news. And now he's announcing his well-deserved retirement. You can read all about it on Bucknuts as well. We'll come back, top of the hour, SportsCenter update, and Chet Roulette. He'll spin the wheel. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Common Man here for Hollywood Casino and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Timmy, it's football season. That means winning and fun.
Oh, yeah. We have tailgate buffets for all of our watch parties. The 3 apps for $12 special. $25 Miller Lite buckets.
And don't forget the crab legs. That's extended through September.
So reserve a table at HollywoodColumbus.com.
And how about this for new members? Sign up for the rewards program on the Penn Play app. Get a $20 dining credit.
And you get more crab legs.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Crab leg problem? Call 1-800-CRAB legs.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Listen up, players. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose.
So you could turn that $300 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, or player props.
$300 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Hub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall from my friends at Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. 2 years ago, I was actually experiencing hip pain for the first time in my life, and I knew I needed the best. So I chose Orthopedic One for my physical therapy needs. And in a matter of weeks, I was rotating that golf swing better than before, and I was the longest hitter in my group again. So be like me and trust Orthopedic One and stay at the top of your game. Several convenient locations across Central Ohio. To find a physician or location near you, just go to orthopedic1.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State hosts Ohio Saturday at 7. Buckeyes won the last meeting 43-7 in 2010. From the NFL, San Francisco plays tight end George Kittle on injured reserve after injuring his right hamstring Sunday. 49ers also waived kicker Jake Moody after he went 1 for 3 against Seattle. Pittsburgh plans to sign safety Jabril Peppers, according to head coach Mike Tomlin. Miami signed former first-round offensive guard Cole Strange off Cleveland's practice squad. Baseball tonight, Cleveland hosts Kansas City at 6:40. Cards have won 4 straight and are 2.5 games back of the AL wildcard race. Cincinnati's at San Diego at 9:40 after a 4-3 loss in 10 on Monday. Reds are 4 games out of the third NL wildcard spot. Reds rookie Chase Burns is slated to throw a bullpen session today. Manager Terry Francona said the plan is for him to be available to be activated Friday. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Final hour of the program, Austin Ward, 2:30. Don't miss him. We'll talk Buckeyes with him. All right, we got a little chat roulette that we'll do here in a moment. The other thing that we talked about yesterday was the Phillies' dad. And I guess now he's gone on every program ever, and now he's saying, hey, lay off the woman that tracked me down for the foul ball. Like now it's in a very typical fashion of where we are, that everyone wants to know who she is, where she lives, where she works. And now the internet hate after being, some people are being misidentified as the Phillies Karen or whatever. And
Phillies Karen.
It's just crazy.
It was Karen activity. It was some Karen activity. But the part you just mentioned, the part you just mentioned is like a step too far. Like it's not that serious to where we got to find out where this woman lives and works and all that stuff. I'm rocking with everybody that's like, come on.
So here's the other thing, and this may be the best side of the story. There is a place, because she got the ball back. Remember, the dad finally said, here, you want it?
I wouldn't have gave it to her. I would have told her to kick rocks.
Well, she's got it. He gave it to her. And then it worked out great for the kid, who wound up getting Harrison Bader to sign him a bat. And, Phillies were showering him with gifts.
100%.
Well, now there's a card shop that's offering her money for the ball. Basically, they want the Phillies Karen ball.
What type of value does that have?
$5,000, according to them.
Really?
So maybe it'll all work out.
Oh, my goodness.
So of all the memes, and I'm telling you, they are funny. As much as Adam King and I brought a different slant to it, not a complete, but we slanted a little bit. I'm going to try to describe this on the radio so best you can take it in. There's a picture of her, I'm assuming it's her, with a dog next to her. Both are in the air, and she's grabbing the Frisbee out of the dog's radius.
Like, give me that.
The next one is one of my favorites, the original Willy Wonka.
Okay.
And Charlie Bucket finally gets the golden ticket. And when he's there and he's holding up the golden ticket.
I got a golden ticket.
And then they've photoshopped, is that still a phrase? AI'd her in, grabbing his arm to try to get the golden ticket.
The internet is undefeated.
Charlie, you took the golden ticket from me. So, yes, that's the phrase you just said. And it's because the dad was giving it to his 10-year-old son. Yeah. And now, if the dad would have, I wonder how you would have thought about this, because this is the part I think about. And I'll throw this at him, too. If the dad would have gone over there to get the ball, but there was no son, and he just walked briskly back to his seat, would you guys think any different about it?
No.
Oh, see, I think
yes, because I still land on the same side.
Because at the end of the day, she's not entitled to that baseball.
I
Kid
agree
or
with you.
not.
Oh, at the end, the jury is not going to award her the ball. I understand that. I was just bringing some nuance to it, that the guy kind of was a little bit of a snake, and then I thought he overplayed his shock of that, how dare she ask for the ball. Like, I think he overplayed that part.
The only part that would have been snaky to me is if he would have did that to another kid. That, to me, is snaky. You go to a baseball game, and look, if it's in the vicinity of where you're sitting, go get the ball. Let the best man or woman win.
Vicinity. All right, there you go. Anyway, the memes are out there for
the Willy Wonka one, I got to see that one. That's incredible. Because that could have got dicey for Charlie in the movie. I mean, you're unraveling that candy bar right outside the shop.
Run.
Like, get out of here.
The mom was on him.
That's
Run
what I'm
home.
saying. I could have got dicey.
Don't stop. All right, take it over. Chat roulette.
Can I get it right
that?
There we go.
He's going to get a block. Right that.
Oh, man.
All right, we're playing Real or Fake News NFL Week 1 edition.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a takeaway, and you tell me if it's real or fake. All right, first of all, Daniel Jones isn't just a bridge quarterback. He is a true NFL starter. I will give you a hint. Here is Evan Roberts and Tiki Barber talking about this, mainly Tiki Barber on WFAN in New York.
Now let's get to Daniel Jones. I didn't watch more than 3 minutes of Indianapolis, Miami. And I'm glad. I watched the whole game. That's awesome. Well, no, because it was all I heard. No, I know. That's why you did it. All I heard was Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones. People who were talking about Daniel Jones did not watch the Colts game. They watched the statistics. And you see 270 yards and a touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns. Daniel Jones was fine. I'm happy for the kid. He had a great first day.
But it wasn't overly impressive?
It was checkdowns. It was hesitation to throw the ball. You know what? I'm going to throw it to my all-pro running back. It was, get this ball out quick for a 5-6 yard gain, break a tackle, go make some plays. He did. The touchdown was fantastic. It was cover 2. He threw it in the honey hole. It was wide open, easy pitch and catch. Great job, Daniel Jones. The 2 rushing touchdowns, they were QB sneaks on the goal line. He's a big freaking dude, man. You get down on the 1 yard line, guess what? Daniel Jones is going to run it in the end zone. But there was no design QB runs. There was no, hey, man, we can run QB power with Daniel Jones because he's a running. He just kind of scrambled around. His rushing yards came from scrambles and 2 yard runs on the 1 yard line.
Did he change the complete narrative about himself? No, he couldn't have. You can't do that in one game. You just can't. I think he dismissed a little much about the leadership of what he provided. They scored on all 7 of their offensive possessions. That's the first team to do that since 1978. Now, I know it was against the Dolphins, but can't take everything away from him and just say it was stat-oriented. Like,
you also got to remember what
he was sharp. I thought he was sharp.
Yeah, and you also got to remember what former franchise Tiki used to play for. So there may be a little bitterness there with a former Giant quarterback looking the part elsewhere after how Russell Wilson looked as a Giant in game number 1. He looked fine to me. I think when Tiki said that was an accurate way to describe it. What else he's seeing on film, I can't push back on that because I wasn't really studying the film, I guess. But one of my favorite movies is Rush Hour 2. Oh, and in that movie,
the second one,
Chris Tucker, there's a fake money scene where he lights it on fire and says, y'all been getting fooled by this fake money. Kind of smells fake money-ish to me right now with Daniel Jones. So I'm not rolling with this is what we're going to see week in and week out from Danny Dimes. I look at his career and what he's been, and I will lean that way until proven otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
People jumped the gun on the Patriots.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's fake news. It's game 1.
I know.
Game 1.
Digging your heels in?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm digging my heels in. I still believe in them.
When I said people, I meant Matty Ice.
They went up against a good head coach and a solid quarterback with a quarterback on their side, that being the Pats, that still has to learn. But his skill set, I will buy into, and I'll buy in to Mike Vrabel. So them getting into a little bit of a slugfest, if you will, in an ugly game with the Raiders, I'm okay with that in game number 1. I'm not moving off my Pats love as them maybe being a sneaky wild card team this year.
Not maybe. You had him in, right?
I think I did have him in. Yeah.
Geno threw for 362 against him. Like, I agree with him. It's one game. It's the NFL. This is going to happen to good teams. But that's an egg lane. They're at home against the Raiders.
No, to be fair, they did not have one of the best corners in the world in Christian Gonzalez. He did not play in that game. So I got to give him that.
The best thing they did was make sure that Ashton Genty didn't become Marcus Allen overnight.
That's real.
But that's a bad loss. That's a bad loss. We both think highly of them. We both had Vrabel as like coach of the year. Like, this is but it's so hard to take what you asked, TLC, and say that it's a season. So I'm not going to do it either. I think it's a little more real than fake on whether they are the it team this year, which a lot of people like them to be.
The Lions missed their Super Bowl window.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm going to say that's fake. As far as, you mean getting there or winning it?
Winning it.
Yeah, well, winning it's another thing. That's very tough to do. I don't think they quite missed it. It's teetering. It's the new coordinators, the vibe. They had it all going. They lost to what, Washington at home in the playoffs? They shouldn't have lost that game. I mean, they were the team. I loved them. Thought they had Goff had a second act that was beautiful. I think it's partially fake. I think they're still going to be a tough out.
It's got to be.
I do.
It's got to be fake for me, just because that core is not old. They're not an old team that's like on their last at bats here. Like, they're going to have swings at this thing with Hutchinson on defense, that crew, and then obviously all the playmakers around Goff. And Goff himself is not an old quarterback either. So I think it's fake. But they didn't look good in game 1.
What's getting more real is their division.
Absolutely.
By the minute.
No question.
And you can't just gift it to them, for sure. All right. Fun little chat roulette there. We'll come back. Matty, a Pro Bowl quarterback, may be out a while. How will that impact this team? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling, and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Enjoy hot deals on Meijer brand family favorite must-haves all season long. Save on back-to-school lunch basics like Meijer peanut butter, grape jelly, and round top bread, just $1.39 each. Meijer disinfectant wipes are just $2.99, and a Meijer facial tissue 4-pack is only $4.99. Saving a good deal more on your favorite Meijer brand must-haves is a good deal better all season long. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Open a money market account at Kemba Financial Credit Union and enjoy a 4.00% APY intro rate until July 2026, 6 times the national average. Maintain easy access to your funds and secure financial stability. Don't miss out. Offer expires October 31st, 2025. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Advantage status and $5,000 minimum and $1 million maximum deposit required. APY equals annual percentage yield. Comparison based on FDIC average, federal insured by NCUA.
Oven-baked French toast. Hot, melty cheese. And meat. And meat. And meat. Introducing UDF's new 3-meat French toast stackwich. Sweet and savory cinnamon swirl French toast piled with thick-cut bacon, natural pork sausage, and smoky Canadian bacon. It's the newest flavor in our lineup of breakfast sandwiches. All stacked fresh, all served hot, and all made in store to make your morning. The new 3-meat French toast stackwich from UDF. Mornings made for you.
Join the Reds when they battle the Cubs in a 4-game set September 18th through the 21st. Bring your furry friend to the game on Thursday for the last Bark in the Park of the season, thanks to Good and Fun, Dreambone, and Kroger. Don't miss a spectacular fireworks show after the game on Friday the 19th, presented by Paycor. Plus, Sunday the 21st is Fan Appreciation Day, with prizes to lucky fans throughout the game. Get your tickets now at reds.com/tickets.
Dormar, your climate hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Join the Fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, you might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Feeling a lot more like summer this afternoon. Lots of sunshine in the forecast and highs getting up right around 80 degrees with light winds. For tonight, mostly clear skies overnight with our lows down into the 50s, and we are rinse and repeat again for Wednesday. You'll need those sunglasses, and it'll be warm in the afternoon with highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bet365 time.
Let's talk about it. Listen up, football fans. You don't want to miss this because right now, new Bet365 customers, when you bet $5, you are going to get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $300 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, total spreads, player props, all the good stuff happening at Bet365. Keep an eye out throughout college football and the NFL seasons for the early payout offer. It's an instant payout if the team you bet on goes up by 17 points, even if they lose. So do not miss out on these good deals happening right now at Bet365.
Talked about the futures.
Yeah.
And I think if you're an NFL fan, I love the future bet. I know it's got to sit there, but man, if you can just find the right value, that's a good one. We talked about some of those that are out there. I know you didn't love the Rams. I liked them a little more just for the value in the NFC. Was there any other NFL team that we would future right now? I'll give you the odds again because there's definitely some value out there. Or we could do a make the playoffs bet of just making it. There may be some value somewhere. Let me see if there's some value on Cincy to make the playoffs. Yeah, you're getting about 66, almost 67% back on your money if you bet Cincy to make the playoffs right now. And they're 1-0. I mean, so let me put that in easy figures for you. Took 100 soft earned dollars today. You're going to get back almost 167 if they make the playoffs. It's not horrible. It's really not.
Yeah,
I kind of looked at that as the same way I looked at Ohio State, just having, over 10.5 wins in the regular season.
Yeah.
So I think I might do that. And then the other one, if I just want to throw in a baseball one, I'm gonna bet the Dodgers tonight. I'm gonna bet them a few ways against the Rockies. They need to do something at home against them. I picked up Sheehan, their pitcher. I'll bet him to get the win and Shohei to have one total base. Probably throwing some strikeouts, and I'm going all in on them tonight.
Okay, I'm looking at my Redlegs. They are taking on the San Diego Padres tonight. Zach Liddell on the mound.
King is back.
The Reds. And, man, I'm looking at Fernando Tatis Jr. tonight, AR. This dude's cooking right now. Like, he's really swinging a nice bat at the moment. And then you look at Zach Liddell for the Reds, 2 out of the last 3 starts, not even getting past the 5th inning. So he's looking a little dicey right now. Give me an anytime dinger for Fernando Tatis Jr., one of the most electric players in the sport tonight against my Redlegs. Anything else, or we good for today?
No, I'm good. Set there. It's one of those things now you wait till Thursday night.
No doubt about it. Download the app today, folks, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only, must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Weird news for the 49ers. As their great tight end, George Kittle, is now on IR with a hammy. Like IR with a hammy.
Minimum 4 games.
That's a tough one.
Yep.
Brock Purdy, shoulder and toe. Sergeant Hulka with the big toe is going to see how 4. I'm telling you right now, if he can't play, they got it's a walkover NFL-wise, but it really isn't because the Saints looked okay. Mac Jones.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Will likely take his place.
Yep.
Boy, what in the Niners right out of the gate. We're not talking about CMC yet. By the way, Juwan Jennings also left that game.
He had a shoulder or something?
He had a shoulder.
Yeah.
I guess it's not looking horrible. They're waiting for the MRI. He said it was okay, and Purdy's not expected to be out as long as Kittle, so it's not. But these are key positions. These aren't just nothing.
Let me ask you something. Yeah. In the toe, is it his plant foot or is it his left foot? Do you know that information? Because if it's that plant foot for a right-hander, you got to push off that big toe every time. Be a long day out there.
Make him line up on the left side.
There could be some pain there for Brock Purdy.
I need you to do a down and in.
Yeah.
And I want you to button hook.
That could be tough, man. So, hopefully they can get right and continue some of the momentum that they created against a divisional opponent against Seattle on the road in week 1, because after the New Orleans game you mentioned, they got Arizona on deck, so another divisional opponent right around the corner. But, Kittle just coming off an amazing season last year. Clearly, they had high hopes for what he was going to do this year, because without Brandon Ayuk, is Ricky Pearsall really ready to be the dude within that offense? And so now somebody's got to make up for that in that tight end room, and there's probably going to be a ton of targets going CMC's way now that Kittle's going to be out. So if you own McCaffrey in fantasy, you got to be liking this news because Brock Purdy's probably going to be dumping that thing off time and time again.
Yep, they had, you're right. They did have high hopes. High apple pie in the sky hopes. I'm looking at their schedule right now. Mm-hmm. It actually couldn't work out any better, really. At New Orleans, maybe you survive that. Then you get 2 home games, Arizona and Jacksonville. So if Purdy's out 3 games, and it doesn't feel like he will be, maybe he's out just 2, then at least you'll have him for that game Thursday night at the Rams. And then you got to go to Tampa. You could get into a shootout there. So,
yeah, a lot of NFC games, though, right? And so outside of that Jacksonville game, all those games you mentioned are on their side their side of the conference.
They're playing such a dead man schedule.
I don't know, dude. Like, I'm looking at the Rams, Tampa, Atlanta, like Jacksonville.
On paper, it was supposed to be a cakewalk.
It was supposed to be, but,
I mean, they still play the Giants and they play Carolina.
Maybe Jackson.
They get Cleveland. They get
Jackson dart time.
Tennessee. Like the Bears at home. Yeah, it's very doable.
Until you got to roll out Mac Jones for a few weeks.
Mac the knife.
That could get nasty real quick.
I don't know. Maybe we see a lot of these guys that are changing the narrative. Jones, Darnold did it.
A few of them.
Mac started out like a house on fire, man. Everybody thought he was going to be the next.
Got to the postseason,
Thomas
I believe.
Brady.
I think he got to the postseason with New England. That first year, second year, whatever that looked like.
It was just the dad walk at the draft that got me all. It was just the walk. That long walk at the draft.
I could see it right now.
The high-waisted slacks.
Yeah, I can see it right now. And we got to give some credit to Kyle Shanahan as well as a play caller. Like, he's shown that, especially, more specifically for me at the running back position, that if guys go down, like he's had guys step up. So we'll see if he can do the same thing at the QB spot. Hopefully they don't have to rely on Mac Jones for too long because I just don't know if that's a business you want to be in as a football team that thinks you can be a contender, is having him hold it down for weeks on end.
What do you guys have this week?
We got Seattle at home. I was looking at our schedule and was thinking about throwing this in chat roulette. I think we're going 4-1 to start the year, and then it's going to get real tough.
There was a thought in some circles that you guys could actually be the last undefeated team standing. I didn't buy it. I actually bet Buffalo to be the last undefeated team standing, only because I got some value on them because they played Baltimore in week 1. The bet, it's like a Nerfie. The bet would be over in week 1, or I really feel like I have a shot. Because I'm going to give you the Bills' schedule real fast up until their bye week, and then coming out of their bye week. The Bills go to the Jets. Then they're home against Miami. Then they're home against New Orleans. Then they're home against New England. Then they're at Atlanta, and then they hit their bye. They come out of their bye at Carolina. They're going to be favored in all of them.
So, Atlanta might be tough.
I'm not saying it won't be. You're right. I mean, it's the NFL, and that's a Monday nighter. So they'll be jacked. But the fact is, they'll be favored big in most of these at home, especially Miami and New Orleans and New England.
And we'll also see, we'll see how good their defense is. I mean, they got lit up by one of the best units in the sport. True. So you could look at that two different ways, but that defense did not look good right out of the gate. Real quick, TLC, going back to your 4-1 prediction, where's the one loss coming from? Is that AR's Vikes across the pond?
I don't know. So we got 3 coming up. Our next 3 we are a short favorite at home against Seattle. We're going to New England. And then we're playing Minnesota in a country that is not America.
Maddie's Patriots.
And I'm trying to go 2-1 in those 3. I don't really care where the loss is. I know that the Patriots just lost to the Raiders, and the Raiders did it in New England. Even so, I don't think it'd be a felony if we lost in New England, as long as that's the only one.
It's a misdemeanor? Is that how you would?
That'd be a misdemeanor.
Okay, gotcha.
TLC, you know you do it. Everybody does it. I just did it, and I'm ready to do it again.
That's right.
All right.
Whatever that means.
2 minutes. We come back with Austin Ward. We'll talk Buckeyes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. and doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's do a little day tripping.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Plumbing. Call us today at 1-800-FURNACE for all your plumbing and drain service needs. Yes, 1-800-FURNACE works for plumbing, too.
Oh, if they could all be that easy. Julian saying getting protection for days. Blitz whenever you want. Don't worry about paying for it. And grow that into a 35-0 halftime lead, and then put the backups in and let them shine, like Riley Pettijohn and Mylan Graham and Isaiah West and Bo Jackson. And this man's a starter in our lineup. He is Austin Ward. Good to have you, bud.
Great to be back with you guys on a normal time on a Tuesday. Now we're getting into that game week routine, boys.
Will Ohio State, in your mind, ever have a running back controversy?
I mean, if there was ever going to be one, I think it would have been last year with Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson both being early round draft picks and both having veteran experience and high-level production, one at the Big Ten level with Ohio State, one coming in from Ole Miss. I think if that was if ever there was the makings for there to be one, I think that would have been the scenario. When you have the ability to spread around touches, and I actually think the way that Carlos Lachlan and Ryan Day managed that scenario a year ago is the ideal blueprint moving forward. You can spread around carries at running back in a way that you can't at quarterback, and that really helps, and especially if you have guys who are buying in and don't care about who goes first or second or potentially third, because I think the discussion all this week, ramping up for Ohio on Saturday night, is how much of what Bo Jackson did on Saturday puts him in the mix with James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson, or does the late fumble and the way that Ryan Day and Carlos Lachlan were coaching him up on that, does that, and really, you think back to what Ryan Day said 2 hours ago. He said, if you see something in a game, it means we've probably been seeing that in practice. So does the ball security issues with Bo Jackson, do we actually take more from that than we do the upside with 100 yards on just 9 carries. So I don't think that there's much to really be controversial about with it. I think there's room for 2, and then the uncertainty, I guess, would be if Bo can make that 3.
One thing, A-Dub, that jumped out to me from Coach Day's presser today was when he kind of started talking about, personnel and some of the options that they have right now and will have moving forward. And to me, a lot of that is rooted in that tight end room. Just talk about that room right now and what you've seen from those guys, because it seems like, A-Dub, that they could have 2 to 3 guys a week that could go out there and help them out.
Yeah, or more, Matty. I think coming out of the opener, I think, Ohio State was looking at the usage in that game, and they had 2, 3, or 4 tight ends on the field for the highest percentage of snaps in the Ryan Day era. And I think there are some recruits around the country who are getting graphics suggesting that, because there's been all this narrative and notion, Ohio State doesn't use tight ends, and it's measured solely by receptions. There have been that. Those have existed for, Will Kazmarek, and Max Clare's only got 1 in each of his first 2 games, but he's been involved. Bennett Christian being involved. Jelani Thurman gets a touchdown on Saturday against Grambling. And then you have Nate Roberts as a true freshman going out there. He plays against Texas, and he gets even more snaps against Grambling on Saturday. And it looks like that fullback role might be a real thing that the Buckeyes use moving forward. So, they had 5 tight ends get targets on Saturday, Maddie. They've used, I think it was close to 70% that they had multiple tight ends on the field in the opener against Texas. So this is a viable part of the offense. And Ryan Day was sort of discussing the evolution of that philosophy. I think when they were always at their best, and I think back to the year with Jeremy Ruckert and Luke Farrell and the ability to put stress on defenses when they were going with that 12 personnel grouping. And Ryan Day said, if you're playing just 1 tight end and 1 running back, which you would be tempted to do with Ohio State's wide receivers, so there's ways that you can be negated and teams can defend you that make life more difficult. And it's the tight ends with their ability to help both and protection, run blocking, and then being weapons for the passing attack that really, I think, elevates Ohio State to a different level. It's fun to watch. It's interesting. It adds a new wrinkle every single week because, you point that out, Maddie. It's been noticeable these first couple of weeks that these tight ends are going to remain heavily involved. Whether that means that they each catch 30 or 40 balls, maybe not, but they're going to be out there a ton.
Austin Ward with us, little day trip in Ohio State football beat reporter, Letterman Rowan here at the Fan. Did anybody backup-wise that played Saturday open enough eyes to challenge a starter?
I think they're going to have to go do it again before I would say that would shake up the pecking order, which is sort of the way Ryan Day put it, and I think is right, Anthony, is you make that flash, you show what you can do against Grambling, and then maybe that gives you more opportunities to prove that you can build on that again against Ohio. It's a notch up in terms of competition. The evaluation will be more significant. I think for me, the guy that I'd like to maybe see more of in this game to see if that's real or not is Zion Grady at defensive end. You look at Logan George has been out for these first couple of weeks. I think he's going to play. He's going to have an opportunity to play against Ohio on Saturday night because he's dealt with an injury. But, you're Kenyatta Jackson, Caden Curry, you sort of know what you can get. And you look at the rush defense and the sack totals where Ohio State wants it to be. This is sort of the gradual ramp up that we've seen from that Rushman group before. But you had C.J. Hicks on one end and Zion Grady on the other, creating an opportunity, getting a sack. There weren't a ton of them to speak of in that game against Grambling. So is that something that if you give this true freshman, 5 or 10 more opportunities against Ohio, do you see another sack? Does that mean that you could take him on the road against Washington and trust him in that situation? In terms of pushing to be in the rotation, I think that's where you have to look. We know what Bo Jackson could potentially do if the ball security, takes care of itself. Riley Pettijohn is incredibly exciting to watch, and the future is so bright. But is he going to take the place of Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese or even Peyton Pierce? Probably not at this point. But I think that's where I would look. There's maybe a case where a couple reserve offensive linemen. I think the backup offensive line really impressed. I don't know that they're going to shuffle up the way that top group has looked through the first couple of weeks. They've been rock solid. So that's the spot we talked all offseason really about defensive tackle, defensive end, if that line is going to elevate. And, they beat Texas and they held them to 7. So I don't think it's a flashpoint. I don't think it's a cause for concern. But if there's somebody else who might help there, you're looking at a Jarquez Carter or a Zion Grady. That's probably the spotlight that you would have heading into this Ohio matchup on Saturday night.
How you feeling about the back end of the defense, that secondary? I mean, as we all know, Caleb Downs is just an absolute monster and probably will be that way for years and years to come when he goes to the NFL. But just the other guys are around Caleb. Austin, your thoughts on what you've seen from that unit?
Yeah, I don't know that Lorenzo Styles is getting enough credit for the work he did against Texas for one, but then, following that up with he didn't have to play a ton against Grambling, of course, but, somebody had to get picked on last year when he was on the field and he was in that dime roll. And he did give up a number of completions. That was where teams looked. But, my perspective on that was sort of like, okay, well, another year of experience. If he's playing in this nickel day in and day out, let's see what that looks like. Because the bright side, when you looked at, even if there were things to be critical of with Lorenzo, he wasn't getting beat over his head. It wasn't for touchdowns. It wasn't back-breaking plays. Most of that stuff was all in front of him. And so that partnership, I think he's really taking on a little bit of the Jordan Hancock role, which arguably was the most difficult thing for Ohio State to replace on this roster. Really encouraged by that with Zoe. I think Jalen McClain is got the potential to be a real hard-hitting monster, sort of taking over that mantle from Lathan Ransom. So those pieces are good. And IGB and Jermaine Matthews, boy, are they as competitive as it comes. And they sometimes get taken for granted as well, IGB in particular, because you can look at the penalties from the last couple of years or the fact that he's going into year 3. He's not a shiny new toy anymore the way that Devin Sanchez or Aaron Scott might be. But, that top group, the BIA thing is well-deserved. I think that moniker is in the right place, and it's hard to imagine them taking any step back. And there's maybe a case, Maddie, that this secondary might be even better than it was a year ago.
Well done, my man. Always enjoy it. And looking forward to a night game at the Shoe. And we get a little in-state juice coming this weekend. So we'll see you soon. Thanks, bud.
You got it. See you guys.
Austin Ward with us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Fellas, if you're at that point in your life to where things are just not working the way they used to, you can't go out and play basketball with the fellas like you used to because your energy is low, or maybe you're dealing with some ED problems, get on over to the Columbus Men's Clinic because they can help you correct all of those things. These folks over there, they don't believe in any guesswork. They just make things happen with real treatments and real science. There are no gimmicks, no online quick fixes, none of that stuff. They will get all your information and get you in order and headed in the right direction. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, their medical providers build a plan around you, your body, your goals, and what it takes to get you back to feeling like yourself again. Testosterone, ED treatment stuff guys don't know exists, man. These guys have all the information. So let them take care of you. That way you could take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones as well, if you know what I mean, fellas. Call 614-300-7400, or you can visit them at columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation, including blood work, is just $99, and they will find a plan that works with your budget. Again, hit them up at 614-300-7400, or visit them at columbusmensclinic.com.
All right, we come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer when you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead.
You get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, playa. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your Tailgate transformation at awaken180weightloss.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender. Expires 10/31/25.
Double your Keno booster automatically every Tuesday in September between 4 and 5 p.m. with Keno Power Hour Double Booster. Play Keno with Booster between 4 and 5 any Tuesday afternoon in September, and the booster value will be double. You could boost your winnings up to 20 times all September long. Learn more at ohiolottery.com/Keno Power Hour. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Common Man and Timmy.
Why did you get such a big tub?
I guess I screwed up.
You did screw up. Garbage. I think it's what to do with garbage.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by Hinderer Motorsports.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
All right, this is specifically for my boys here.
Okay.
Tell the truth.
All right, what do you got?
So, the Steelers and the Ravens, both of your teams, are pretty frustrated with their head coaches at times. Now, the Steelers got that game against the Jets, but you know where I'm going with this. Pittsburgh fan doesn't want to win 9 again and lose in the first round or whatever, or not get in. And would you be down with the old wife swap? Harbs to Pitt, Tomlin to Beemore. Very similar careers. What would you have to say about it? Who would like to receive? Who would like to?
You
kick?
definitely should take that.
All right, you have to receive this kick. I'm here for it, or no thanks.
I'm here for it.
Okay,
because there's something about John Harbaugh led teams that don't know how to close out games. And I think Mike Tomlin, with his style of coaching, paired with the talent that we have, could help us close that gap. The Steelers' issue is not a Mike Tomlin issue. It is a quarterback issue. It doesn't matter what coach they would have had. No coach is going to do what Mike Tomlin did or more when you have the quarterback play that they've had. That's always been my stance on Mike Tomlin. If they let him go, the minute he's let go, somebody else is going to hire him. And if he gets a quarterback, they're going to be really good. But I would take Tomlin in Baltimore right now. I would.
I do it too because I think the Steelers need a shakeup just in general.
Okay. A win-win.
Yeah. Now, John Harbaugh has definitely shown that he can find success even when it doesn't look like it. There were a couple times where he was kind of on the chopping block and then got an extension when his back was really against the wall in Baltimore.
Thanks, Lamar. He can thank Lamar.
Probably. And I think Mike Tomlin would be better, and this is so obvious to say, so this is not a hot take. He would be better with a ready-made roster. Because, of course, because every coach would be. Every coach is better when they have better players. But the thing with John Harbaugh for me, and this isn't necessarily emblematic of what took place in Buffalo, so this isn't just about this week, but he seems to rely on his players a lot when it comes to like, hey, you want to go for 2? Hey, you want to go for it on 4th down? And they're all like, yeah, sure. And so like, there's some shaky decision making for him that I think Mike Tomlin would be safer for you in Baltimore. But I just think we need to shake up the snow globe in Pittsburgh and kind of just try something new.
It's hard to think about this because Harbaugh's been a high seed many times. Like he has. I mean, it's hard to take that away from him, but you're right, the talent and especially a quarterback, they're oddly comparable in a weird way. Yeah. With the success that you guys have had, but I think that was the first time in history, it was the first time in history that a team scored 40 points and ran for, let me see how many yards you guys ran for as a team. Rushing yards, 238. Mm-hmm. You ran for 238 and scored 40 and lost. Now, it was a great game. It was a shootout. You're not going to have many like that. But you're right. Their fourth quarter, he doesn't have past Hall of Famer Justin Tucker to kind of save him. He was the guy that won you a lot of games at the buzzer. But isn't that funny? I didn't think you would do it just based on the success that you've had. But I can understand where you're going. It's weird that both fan bases have this identity with their team that they don't love.
And I think it's rooted in both fan bases watching those head coaches lead teams to a Super Bowl. Now, that's kind of the bar. Now, is that fair year in and year out? It's not. But when you set that bar and then you fall below that year in and year out, which is good because you're in the playoffs and all that stuff, there's a little bit of that, we're leaving meat on the bone. And when that continues to happen, I can understand why some Steeler fans may be like, all right, let's get some new blood in here. I just think that's a dicey game because, like, you get rid of a guy that is a good coach on the other side. You want to go with a young guy that's, promising or whatever. That can get dicey. And so that's why I would stick with Mike Tomlin until he gets a quarterback and shows me that they're still average.
I think this is one of the most fascinating things that sports fans do. I really do. Mm-hmm. And there's some stuff that I think sports fans do that's just like stupid and cliche. I think one of the most fascinating things is holding a coach's standards that he created against himself in a way.
That's right.
And so
they call that a victim of your own success.
Exactly. And so with the Steelers and the Ravens, the issue, the ties that bind us both are that we're both teams that are hitting the exact same ceiling every single year. We are 9-8 every single year, and you are a shade beneath the Bills and the Chiefs every single year. Yeah. And so that's where the shakeup comes. Yep. And so it's like, are either of us bad football teams? No. Obviously, the Ravens being better than the Steelers. No, but it's like, how are you not getting any better than 4 years ago? That's what the game is. Mm-hmm. And then that's why both of us are running out of patience.
And you can have that same discussion sometimes for quarterbacks too, right? Yeah. Like around the league. And it's like, it's always dicey. Like, do you want to move on from this guy to where, well, yes, you can question, he doesn't do this in the playoffs, he doesn't do that. But sometimes it's the best you got. And you just got to hope that things fall your way and that guy figures it out in time.
I got to imagine that Bills fans probably even felt that way about Marv Levy. I know that he was in the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. But it's like, holy hell, can you win one?
And then McDermott may be entering that conversation in the next couple of years, right? Like, you keep knocking on this door. You got the quarterback. You got all that. And then they're not. And it's the hardest thing to ask is to win the Super Bowl.
They fired Ken Dorsey.
It's very tough. When I heard you say that, can you at least win one? I mean, it's not like there was a college team on the other side. No, I know, but you got to understand that every time you go back, you think your odds increase that you're due to get one. But it adds another layer of pressure. Now you have to get it done. Like, now you're going into the Super Bowl on the back of 2 straight losses in the big one. The nerves start to play in. There's a different set of pressure than a team that just has a great season and now they're playing for it all. Imagine playing for it all knowing you had lost the previous 2 years or the previous 3 years. Yeah, your mind would tell you we're due to win this, but you're still going in on the back of, oh no. what happens if we lose another one? Like, it's almost better not going. Like, it's weird. It's almost like, you brought up the coaching part of it. It's like a young coach or a first-year coach that has great success. To follow that up is so difficult. Mm-hmm. It is for a player. It is for a coach. But I think both your organizations are in just incredibly. I mean, he's got a roster that can win the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. You guys
have
are
a roster that can make the playoffs. There's a difference.
Yeah. And I think that the Bills, dude, coming out of that game, I'm more confident in you than the Bills. Like, you're a team, they're a player.
All right.
I'm not mad at that take. Hey, before we go, if you missed anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice, folks. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. The wonderful folks at Bet365 are the sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Common Man and Timmy coming up next.
Yeah, big Wednesday. We'll have Chef Dion, Bob, and a lot more. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity. I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota. Now through September 30th, get 2.99 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped Tacoma SR5 for $269 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the Fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Take action with Logan Services now and do not miss out on tax credits up to $3,200 ending soon. Receive additional savings up to $3,000 and get next day installation. Logan Services.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Oven-baked French toast. Hot, melty cheese. And meat. And meat. And meat. Introducing UDF's new 3-meat French toast sandwich. Sweet and savory cinnamon swirl French toast piled with thick cut bacon, natural pork sausage, and smoky Canadian bacon. It's the newest flavor in our lineup of breakfast sandwiches. All stacked fresh, all served hot, and all made in store to make your morning. The new 3-meat French toast sandwich from UDF. Mornings made for you.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Wow, that nagging joint pain, you know the one. Sometimes it's from maybe years of hard work. Sometimes it's just an old injury that never healed right. I know I've got plenty of those. Either way, it's been calling the shots in your life for far too long. But that stops right now. Hey, Bobby Carpenter here, and QC Kinetics is here in Columbus to flip the script. Dr. Walkoff and his team are going to use regenerative medicine, just like I got, advanced cellular treatments that will help your body heal itself. It's going to restore the damaged tissues. It's not a cover-up for it. It's not pills, it's not scalpels, it's long-term lasting relief. So you don't have to operate your life around the pain anymore. QC Kinetics, no surgery, no drugs, no downtime, just smarter and natural ways to heal your body. Make sure you bring your MRI, bring your x-rays. They'll tell you if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. So just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Or visit them at qckinetics.com/Columbus.